Assalamu alaikum, guys. Okay, let's see the stream. Let's make sure the audio is going well. Okay. Ooh. Turn that off. Do like a quick like micro video from there though, just like with the sign if you can, just exactly. Ooh. Okay, let's see. Oh, mashallah, barakallah. Oh, this looks clean. Assalamu alaikum. Protect your neck. Yo, you're not wrong, bro. Yeah, it's called Change My Mind. Walaikum salam. Sakina AI, nice to seeing you. Mobeen Hani, yeah, it is wrong, sure, but we need to have a conversation about it. I said, Inshallah, Harper, we're going to see what happens over here. Easy path to Islam. Walaikum salam. He said he read the title log. Okay. Walaikum salam. What's going on? So we had some like issues originally with the HDMI cables and all that sort of stuff, but alhamdulillah, you know, we're figuring it out. This is our first time doing this. And were you able to figure out the split screen idea? Okay. So when we have our guests, we're going to do that. Love is love. Oh God. I got a notebook with me today too, guys. You know, I'm trying to be like a little bit more sophisticated with my words today. So I got a notebook too, so I can listen to the people and not interrupt them. Yo, it probably was. Yes. We're going to see who actually wants to sit down and have a conversation. Uh-huh. How's the audio even sounding, by the way? Audio is sounding pretty good, mashallah, barakallah. I have to say, alhamdulillah. Bismillah ar-Rakeek. He said he's watching this while playing Halo. Okay, very nice. I respect that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get banned on Twitch for this title alone. But that's just going to make us move over to Rumble and Kick and everything like that. Live chat on. Okay. Okay. Sure. I'd say 30 seconds. 30 seconds is calm. Okay. Adam Daly said, why is it so bad to love another man? It's a pretty solid question to ask. Okay. Why is it so wrong? I'm looking at it. I feel like if we were to just get me a little bit lower, I think that might be a better idea. Because our morals are not defined. You're going to drop it down? Our morals are not defined based upon our desires. Our morals are defined by pleasing the one who made you. You know, because if we started just doing whatever we wanted to and whatever we desired, well, then there would be a problem with that. Hopefully that's there. I'm waiting for someone to sit down with me. That might be a tough thing for someone to sit down with. There might be a thing where people are like a little hesitant to sit with, but let's see. We fixed the camera angle. Let me know what you guys think. Maybe that's a little bit better. Why is it wrong to love another man? Okay, solid question. Because our morals are not defined by our desires, right? It has to be done in accordance with the one who made you, the one who created you. Because If you just left everything to your own desires, then where would we be in life? Amy, I'm not gay, but I have been with a man. You might have to elaborate a little bit more on that, Adam. What do you mean that you might not be gay, but you've been with a man? I don't think people feel strongly enough to actually sit down and have a conversation about this. We're settling it. We're settling it. Yeah, it's not the act. It's not being gay or homosexual, which is the problem itself. It's the act of homosexuality. You understand what I'm saying? There's a difference over here, chat. There's a difference. It's the act of homosexuality. Anyone could be tested with the feeling. The feeling is not what makes it wrong. It's not wrong to feel that. It's wrong to act upon it. And who decides what is the right or wrong thing to act upon it? I would argue it's the one who made you. Okay. So Adam, saying that you've been with a man but you don't consider yourself gay, was this out of like a curiosity? Was this out of a trial? Was this out of a moment of weakness? Was this out of a moment of forcefulness? Like, I would need a little bit more context. He said, SQ, I love you so much as a brother. I'm glad that you made that context a little bit clear for me, but it's okay. You can love me. And in Islam, it's not the concept of love isn't the issue. You could love someone while still objecting with them, right? You could still love someone and object with their way of living, you know? Sun is beaming. Are you ready for a sit down? No? Oh, come on. You got to sit down with us, though. He took a selfie with our poster, chat. They took a selfie with the poster, which is pretty fire. I spent a lot of time designing it. Stop it. Or they should. Why not? They got to try it out. Okay. I'm looking for the specific one. Someone said technically it is wrong to feel that, but it's not a sin until it's acted upon. It is not a sin until it's acted upon. That's true. I think that innately you know that there's something up that you don't feel quite, you know, I don't want to say use the word right, but essentially that's the word that we're using, right, you know, right from wrong. Right from wrong is something that the Creator has put and instilled in us, chat. This is not something that you make up. Right or wrong is something innately that's inside of us. Allah talks about the concept of basira, a moral compass of something that you know what's right from wrong. But the more sins that we commit, the more it becomes a gray moment or a gray area. Yeah, that's going to be a tough one with the ND filters that we have. I wanted to try it, and I was okay with it. I would not put it off. I would not be put off doing it again. I mean, I love women, but I would go with a man again. So, Adam, I would ask you this question. What is making you do that? Is that just the desire? Is it that the feeling itself? Because, you know, there's a lot of things that might feel good, but if Allah has not approved of it, then we don't based upon our morality or what we want to do based upon what we feel. Does that make sense, right? Like, there's a lot of things that might be haram that feel good, right? But if you base everything that you want to do based upon whether it feels good, then, brother, you should be drinking alcohol. You should be doing drugs. You should be doing a lot of other things if you base what you do or don't do based upon what feels good from what doesn't. Right, Adam? Right? You were curious, you wanted to try it. I would ask you, I would even want you to dig deeper as to what made you curious about it, right? Was it pornography? Was it someone placing the idea in your head? Was it just waswas from shaitan? Was shaitan just waswasing in your ear, telling you, convincing you to do it? I think that would be an interesting discovery to be made. Lot said, I need a wife, make dua for me. I mean, the fact that you're looking so hard or trying so hard is going to only cause you not to find one. And if you do find one, it'll be from a place of desperation or a place of need or lack or loss. And you might end up finding the wrong type of person. You might end up settling with the wrong type of person because you're so thirsty and desperate to find a wife. So I would just say, brother, don't look, don't chase, focus on self-growth, and everything will be fine. The problem with pride, the Pride and Pride Month itself too, is that Pride in itself, the month itself, Pride was fundamentally about helping people, but essentially, it's become about exploiting innocent people who are feeling homosexual thoughts or whatever it might be. They're exploiting them, and they're taking advantage of them through corporate measures. Someone says, Assalamu alaikum, this is a very sensitive subject. I don't agree with people who live this lifestyle, but I would never judge them. That's only for Allah to do. Of course, you never want to judge anyone. Judging is not the correct thing to do, right? But telling someone what's right from wrong based upon evidence that you have is right. They don't have to follow it. No one needs to follow it. But for us to have a conversation is important. Of course, so why is your comment section full of kuffars hating? That's actually just a really disrespectful way to even view people and talk about people. People are able to say whatever they would like to say, and we leave it at that. So why not? It does make sense, but no great creator has come to me and said, don't do something. Okay, Adam. So Adam, I'm assuming that you're not a Muslim. Would you be a Christian? Would you be Jewish? I would want to know more about you, right? Interestingly enough, because this conversation is not about judging you. This is not about judging anyone. In fact, I think that is the problem that's stopping us from understanding people, right? I think the goal should be understanding people, not judging people, not, bringing your own notions, but listening to people. So that's why we have this conversation over here. We want to understand people. We want to see what they think, what they feel, and how do we have a positive, healthy conversation or outlook from that. So yeah, I would be interested, Adam, in understanding you a little bit more before I, try to explain my reasoning. So let's see. S15EF said, how do you know your gender? The best way to know is when you use the public washroom. Would you enter a male one with the female ones? I don't think that's true. I don't think that you need a bathroom to understand or know your gender. The question of how many genders there are is also something that comes out pretty clearly. Allah has created a male and a female. That is how the Creator has made us, male and female. So you do not need a washroom for that. Is it uncomfortable to see someone of a different gender in your washroom? Sure. But that is not what you need to know. Adam said, I have a lot of Muslim friends. I have looked at a lot of myself, but I just can't get behind an almighty creator. Okay, Adam. Okay. Well, look, if you did believe that there was a creator, then it would make sense that this creator would give us instructions and guidance as far as how do we carry ourselves, how do we maintain ourselves. So I would argue that the creator's responsibility is to tell us how we are supposed to live. Now, you don't need to follow this instructions. That's up to you. But the fact that the instructions and the guidance is there is what matters. So Adam, if I would agree with you, right? Like, if you don't believe that there is a almighty, all-knowing, all-wise, all-loving creator that has made you, then guess what? I too would make sense of just using your desires to be your creator, right? If you don't believe that there's a real creator, then your desires is your creator, Adam, right? So whatever you desire to do is your Lord, is your God, right? So if you desire to be with men one day, women with another day, animal another day, then you are free to do what you like, because your desires is what you use as your moral compass. So if your moral compass is how I feel, well, then you are free to do whatever you like. We believe that What gives us honor and dignity is the Creator giving us rules and regulations and disciplining ourselves not based upon how we feel, but what the Creator wants for us. But that's just what I say. Dean and Dunya, I don't get your joke. What is this stream about? I'm trying to have a live discussion with people who are willing to talk to me about telling me why they believe homosexuality is correct. I would love to hear the arguments behind that, but that might, take some people to step out their comfort zone. It's a scary topic. I think we know exactly where this would be, should be done, topic-wise. We give it time. Never panic. Never that. You said I identify as a pagan, but I have no great beliefs. Okay, that's up to you, Adam. That's okay, brother. That's fine. If you would like to identify as a pagan, that's okay. Is it bad for me as a Muslim to be disgusted by gay people? Yes, it is. You shouldn't be disgusted by anyone. You shouldn't be. Everyone is a creation of Allah. Being disgusted by them is an act of hatred. And as a Muslim, we shouldn't have hatred to that. Now, could you be upset at the fact that sinning is taking place? Sure. But to hate the sinner instead of the sin itself is the problem. So hating, being disgusted by gay people or anyone by argument is wrong, and it shouldn't be allowed. So no, it's not okay for you to be disgusted by gay people. That's incorrect. SQ, what did you major in? I majored in life. This is exactly why Ismaili Islam is good for the world. I don't even know what that means. From Ottawa, Canada. Okay. Some say that they have been there. Even Napoleon was. I don't even know what that means. Why are you out in public? Because this is where we need to have conversations with people. Personally, me, if I don't understand why something is wrong, I just take it because it's from Allah and He's all-knowing. Sure. I think the rule is everything is halal until proven haram. However, obviously something like homosexuality is wrong by the God of Abraham, right? It's wrong. It's incorrect. So let's see. Ibrahim, your job is if you see people taking pictures of another, come and sit. Tell them to come sit down. Come have a seat. Talk. Now these two dudes, they just took a picture of it too. So we show some love. Personally, I don't think it's that gay is a bad thing. It's just I think sex lifestyle with gay people are haram, just like heterosexual people. If you come out the closet, all of a sudden you... Look, I think we're forgetting the fact that Pride Month and all these things were designed to actually be something to help people out. But unfortunately, Pride has now become something that corporations take advantage of. I mean, they understand that the market of demographics of people who would be identified in this area is 3.36 trillion. So if that's how much money exists in the world, then you get what I'm saying? That's a big market to have. And just by pushing identity, I think that whenever something is corporate, it should be raising a few red flags. When something becomes so marketed and based upon corporations, I think it should be questioned. I read this thing that in the YouGov survey, 79% of people who identified as gay, homosexual, or queer thought of Pride Month as something that's just a PR stunt. That's not heterosexuals or people saying. People who identified to be homosexual said 79% said that they viewed Pride Month to be something that's just a PR stunt. They hide behind identity affirmation, self-expression, but it's essentially just consumer culture. That's what's really happening. If we're being honest, it's consumer culture. It's not really trying to help people out. Like, you've never been entitled for a $5,000 grant from Google regarding mental health for pride, for homosexuality. You've never seen it because it doesn't exist. They use it. Chat, we're getting some people on the traction who are outside. They're trying to, like, you know. Have a conversation. Change my mind. Come and just have a sit-down conversation with us, sir. Tell me why I'm wrong. Come sit down and tell me why I'm wrong. That's okay. It's okay to be wrong. Come and tell me why. Come have a seat.
You're gonna have to figure out how to sit down.
Yeah, you might just need one at a time, though.
No.
Yeah, we are one.
You are one?
We are one.
I don't know if my seat can handle that.
Can we sit here?
It might be tough for my angles.
Can you crouch?
If you want to, both could crouch, but you both could be like next to each other. Yeah, that's fine.
There we go.
Yeah.
But just one on the chair because my
Okay.
cameras are prime.
Okay.
And you would just have to come in so that you could be in there, and then we're just going to prime you up for a
Both on our
second.
knees? Is being on our knees gay? Is that okay?
It's up to you. If
Can
you're
we be on our
comfortable being on your
No,
knees, that's okay.
It might be gay. I don't.
I'm scared.
Wait, is that wrong or?
Well, is it wrong to be on your knees?
No, to
Yeah.
be gay.
To be gay? Well, did you grow up with anything? Are you Christian, Jewish, Muslim? Did you grow up in anything at all?
What does that
He's
matter?
German.
Say that again?
He's German.
He's German. So did you have any faith growing up or anything?
No.
Yeah? Just give us 1 second. Let me just prime you up a little bit.
Problem with cameras?
Okay.
But he grew up in Germany.
Okay. So you don't believe that there's a creator or anything like that?
No.
Okay. So you believe that.
No, I'm from here.
Okay. No problem. You believe that homosexuality, being
Yeah,
gay,
that's
or
what
anything.
You think, so.
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
That definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't think it's wrong.
Okay. Why is that?
Well, what do you mean by gay? Because I was on his back.
Yes.
Was that gay?
No.
Right?
I didn't think it was gay.
No, I mean, but.
I don't think it's gay
Oh,
either.
you
To be
said-
on someone's back, it's not. I don't
No.
believe that's
Oh,
gay
I
either.
thought he said yeah.
No.
Wait,
did you, not,
you said-
I'm
wait.
tripping. Did you not say yeah at the beginning?
Say that again.
Did you not say it was gay at the beginning? Did I mishear you?
To be on his back?
Yeah.
That's not gay. Why would that be gay?
I don't
I
know.
thought you said that.
To hold another man's hand, would that be gay?
No.
I don't think so. That's
Yeah,
gay
yeah,
either.
that makes sense. Yeah. We're agreeing.
Wait, so
So, do you believe being a homosexual
Yeah,
is
that's
okay?
it, yeah.
Like to participate in homosexuality, do you think that's okay?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, why is that?
Why
I
is
mean-
it not?
Well, it depends upon the rules and regulations. From my perspective, if there's a creator who made you and made me, this creator has the right to tell us what you should or shouldn't do.
but if,
Do you believe, based upon that, do you believe there's a creator?
I mean, if he didn't he make us to be gay?
I mean, he was pretty close to me, so yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
So you believe that being gay is something that you either are or you're not?
I mean, if we're all made by God, doesn't that mean if someone's
No,
gay?
creator.
Oh, creator. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
Wait,
This creator, whoever this creator
It's
is.
with a K, right? K-R-E-A-T-O-R?
A creator?
Yeah, with a K, right?
With the K? I don't think so. Is it with the K? I think it might be with
he's
the
from
Y.
Germany, so he's not very good.
I prefer spelling with a K, so.
Okay, you can spell it with
Yeah,
the K.
Okay, that's okay.
That's
yeah,
okay.
Sure.
K is fine too.
What were you saying?
I was saying that
yeah.
you're from Germany, so you're
Oh,
not
yeah,
very
yeah.
good at spelling.
How do you,
I just spell with a K, that's all.
Yeah. How do you spell it in Germany?
Yo, like I said, with a K. That's
With the
all.
K? Okay, let's spell it with the K, no
I
problem.
just like spelling things with a K. 'Cause
Okay, no
Yeah.
problem.
Why the fuck do we have C and K?
It
Yeah,
makes him
right, it
feel
doesn't make
more like
sense.
he's at home.
Okay.
Kind of, yeah.
So tell us, so you believe that if the creator, you believe that the creator made you gay?
Yeah. He made us gay.
He made you gay, right?
Yeah.
So is it for the purpose for you to indulge in that, or is it to be tested with your sexuality?
I feel like, I mean, if he told me to, I feel like I should be, right?
Do you believe that there is something called right and wrong, or do you believe that it's just a social construct?
Well, I feel like if the creator made me to be gay, then I'm doing the right thing.
That's for
right?
sure. I definitely don't, as long as it's spelled with a K, I would definitely believe him. So.
Well,
I don't see why
well,
not.
then with that argument,
Or him at
Jeffrey
all.
Dahmer
Yeah.
could say that the creator made him to be a psychopath, and him killing people is okay.
But killing people is bad.
I like that. No.
Yeah, killing people,
we
this
think
seems
it's
bad,
bad,
right?
yeah.
Because
Bec-
that hurts
because-
someone, but when you're gay, you're not hurting someone.
So do you believe that hurt is only defined by physical pain and not social pain?
I mean, it can be social pain.
Okay.
But
Oh,
when
What's the benefit? What,
have you been pained by a gay person before?
what do you mean by pained by a gay person?
Well-
And I want you to make sure you speak with them with respect, because I don't want you to mock them.
Oh, I'm not mocking anyone.
Okay, no, because when you say that, have you been pained by a gay person, or when you say, can a man be another man on another man's back and it be gay, that's kind of demeaning, because we're not trying to have a conversation that demeans gay people, because that's wrong.
Well, we don't
Yeah, I
think
agree with
it's wrong to be gay, though, right?
Yeah. 'Cause
Wait, you think that
you
it's
do.
right to be gay, and we think it's wrong to be gay now, right?
Is that the one that you think this is?
Wait, I'm confused.
No,
You're
Wait, what are
confused.
you?
but we read the sign, yeah, no. So as long as you both agree that being gay is right, then we don't really have anything to discuss anyway.
No, I believe that the Creator has made us, and He's tested some of us. I do believe that you're tested with your sexuality. So someone might have inclinations towards homosexuality,
Right.
but that does not mean that they need to fall into that or follow it. That would be my argument.
Wait, what did you say?
I think he's saying that because the creator makes us, like, so when you're gay, right? Every human's made by the creator.
Yes.
So every person, no matter if they're gay or straight,
as long
are
as-
made by the creator,
So
correct?
Okay.
Every human is made by the creator?
Yeah, every human's made by the creator with a K, though.
yes.
With a K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And so
I
that
mean,
means
no,
that the
yeah,
creator,
every human's made- yeah, I like that.
if they're made by the creator, then they're made in the image of the creator.
Who said that they're made in the image of the Creator?
Well, okay.
We were
Did you
asking
not? You told me that you didn't grow up with any religion, so for
Yeah,
you to
yeah.
say a statement like that, I would ask you, where'd you get that
Well,
from?
I've learned about religion.
Okay, from what perspective?
I think Catholic
Okay.
and maybe Christian.
Which one's that?
That's the
Like Christian Baylor? Or?
like down there. Down there there's a church. That's a Catholic one. Down that way. That church.
Oh, Catholic with a K.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
So based upon what you were taught as a young adult, right, or
Right.
young child, right, what do you understand about it versus what you've now identified for yourself? Meaning you were taught something, but then you made your own formal understanding, right? What's the difference between those two things? Like, what were you taught growing up, and then what did you realize that no, it's right or it's wrong?
I feel like we're still kind of growing up. I feel like you never stop growing.
Okay.
I don't think there's any difference because yeah, I'm still growing. Actually,
Yeah.
physically too. So.
Yeah. He's getting really tall now. Yeah, and
Oh, is he?
he's only 17.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm
Good.
already
Good.
6'7", so that's
Yeah.
tall as shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, based upon Catholicism or Judaic law, homosexuality is something that's impermissible by the Creator Himself, right?
But isn't that
Yeah.
like, cause when I learned about it, I like thought that
You're gonna
like,
have to speak more into the mic. so
Sorry,
just get close.
sorry.
It's okay.
Okay.
Speaking here.
Why don't you guys just sit and see?
No,
No,
don't
no,
like-
because we
yeah,
we
wanna
can't.
Be, we don't be in the same eye level.
It's like
Okay.
I feel like it's bad for your angle as well, right? Because then I'm gonna be much taller.
But
Nah.
then where do I go? Because
Yeah.
I want to be in shot too.
I mean, I guess.
Right? Wait,
Right.
was I
Hey,
not
let,
in
let them
shot?
troll. Let them troll. Let them do their trolling.
Because
thing. Come on.
I would love to be in shot. Is that okay?
It's okay.
Yeah, yeah,
I would
okay.
love for you to be in the shot
Alright,
too.
Awesome.
alright.
Just like being gay. It's
But
okay,
Jen-
so we're all in agreement again.
Wait, you
so.
said just like being gay is what?
It's,
it's okay because that's what we're arguing. As long as
You're saying that being gay is okay.
yeah.
Yeah. I
I'm
guess that's
saying,
the
I'm saying, the act of being gay is the problem, not the actual feeling of gay. Those are two different things.
With the 8, the ox, there's 8 of them.
I think I need to do a little German translation.
Maybe because I'm not with the 8 of them. All 8.
9.
9 of them.
9 of them.
Okay.
Actually, 11.
9 of what? 11 of what?
7-Eleven.
Oh, the store. I
He
know.
knows
Now,
that
you know the
one.
store, right? You know the
He
store?
knows the store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does that have to do with anything?
You tell me.
Oh, you brought it up though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't-
No, I'm just trying to just match your energy a little bit with the trolling.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
There we go.
So we go to 7-Eleven after.
Hey, listen, man. This is your time to actually defend your claim,
All
right?
right,
You're
I'll
letting
say-
down
yeah,
those
yeah.
who are relying
All right.
on you. There's homosexuals, there's gay people
Actual
who are
lock-in.
you're supposed to champion them. Lock in.
All right. Genuinely, the way I see it, if even from that perspective, if we're all made by a creator,
Okay.
no matter what religion, even atheism, being agnostic,
Okay.
I think at the end of the day, if you're not hurting anyone,
Mhm.
and of course that can be, like you said, physical
Mhm.
or also emotional,
Mhm.
social, whatever.
Mhm.
I think it's respectful to do what makes you feel happiest. And I think that someone who is homosexual, for example, I think is doing the world no harm.
Okay.
And should be able to experience that how
Sure.
they want to. And so, like, in my also, like, experiences personally, I have a lot of friends who are homosexual or
Okay.
gay or lesbian, and they're usually quite happy people overall.
Sure.
And I think that, like, for that, like, it really does no damage to me at the end of the day, you know?
Okay.
I mean, if a gay dude gets into a relationship, that's just one less dude I'm competing with as well in the real world, if
Okay.
you think about it.
Fair enough.
But, like, also, it's just, like, it's really, like, I don't know. You can say whatever you want is wrong, but, like, I could say that, like, someone over there juggling is wrong, but
Sure.
who am I to...
These are all subjective
Exactly.
truths,
I think
right?
It's
If
a
we're
very
going that way.
subjective thing. And even
Sure.
if you're looking at religion, I think a big challenge that we face today is when people kind of follow, like, religious texts a little bit too literally. I think that, like, and I've never read the Bible, so please don't quote me on this, but from my understanding, like, the whole quote, like, to be with another man in the Bible as, like, that text itself,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure, I saw this in Instagram Reel, so
Okay.
it might not be true.
Okay, good.
There's a mistranslation.
Thank you for citing where you
yeah,
got it from.
of course.
Okay.
I try really hard, not because I'm no expert, and I just have my own experiences. But to be with a man, or it's a sin to be for a boy to be with a man, and it's actually condemning pedophilia, which is, if anything, we should be talking a bit more about the politicians in this world.
Sure. I believe that's definitely a conversation
yeah.
that should happen, for sure.
And so I think a lot of it just comes from a little bit of just being a little bit too intense with following, like, the guidance. Like, if you take it super literally, it's also like it says that what women can't
Okay.
like vote, or it's not vote, it's something else. Like, women shouldn't speak. It's like also said in the Bible, or like it talks about stoning people for certain beliefs. And so, like, yeah, you could follow it that way, but, like, it's not really, doesn't really make
Okay.
sense.
So-
in my opinion, I think that to, like, sum it all up, I
So-
think being
yeah,
too
please.
literal with the following of the Bible is a
Okay.
big reason why it's okay to be gay.
Okay. So first, I just want to start by saying thank you for locking in
Yeah, yeah.
and having a proper conversation with me and actually saying what you have to say, right? And I want you to understand that my intention behind this is not to hurt anyone's feelings or to
Yeah,
say
absolutely.
anything, because I believe that Pride has become a corporation and it's just been taken over by megacorp.
I agree with
because I do not believe Pride is supposed to be helping people out. Yet it's
I agree with
become it's become a lot more marketable, right?
I
It's
mean,
become
yeah.
more commercial.
Everything becomes commercial.
For
I mean,
sure.
the Knicks have become commercialized. Have you seen, like, I've done like 100 ads for
For
like
the
people
Knicks.
making AI Knicks shirts, which have been pissing
AI
me
Knicks
off.
jerseys, yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned something about happiness, and I wanted to just point that for a second, right? You mentioned about, you should be able to do whatever makes you happy, right? As
Yeah.
long as you're not hurting anyone,
Right.
you should be able to do whatever makes you happy,
Yeah.
right? Does hurting someone also mean yourself, or is it just like exclusive to someone else?
I understand that. I mean, I think a big thing with that is at the end of the day, we're all going to hurt ourselves at some point. And
Okay.
I think that the second you try to speak for someone and, like, oh, you shouldn't do this because you're going to hurt yourself, that's exactly when they're going to do it anyways. Like,
Okay.
I know that for myself. Like, I have a lot of people I try to mentor because I just graduated from college.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But, like, for that example, like, there's a lot of things that I want to tell them. I see them, like, drinking and they're, like, only 18, or, like, smoking and things like that. And I want to tell something, like, to someone that it's wrong. They're not.
They're only
going to
want to do it more
conclusion.
sometimes.
Or not even just that. They need to figure it out for themselves. And someone
Okay.
believes that for themselves it's right to be gay, or if it's wrong to be gay for their own
Yeah.
personal being, then I think that's their journey to explore. And I think when we try to enforce these things, if anything, it's going to put them in a more difficult space to kind of be free-flowing between the two versions.
So once again, I want to go back to the idea of being happy, right? And you mentioned something about being happy. I have a stat for you that I'd like to share with you.
Okay.
Okay. So the Trevor Project
gonna
surveyed. The Trevor. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. Okay. The Trevor Project surveyed, 18,000 young adult youth
Yeah.
who identified as LGBTQ, right, in
Okay.
one of those spheres. Okay.
Yeah.
You mentioned the word happy. They're happier, right? You mentioned the
Yeah.
word they're happier. Okay.
Yeah.
39% of people
Yeah.
have considered suicide.
Okay.
Okay, and this is after they've come out. Okay, so we're taught through this movement of Pride that, hey, just come out the closet, do whatever you want to do, you will feel happier. Yet, after even coming out, 39% of people still consider suicide. 12% of them actually attempted suicide, and 50% of people need mental health care, yet they're not receiving it. Okay, now if Pride is fundamentally about helping people out, Why is it that those who are identifying with one of the spectrum of pride, right? Why haven't they applied for the $5,000 that Google is supposed to give someone if they are? Did you know about this?
No, I didn't. How
Did
do
you
I
know
get
that
the
Google is
5K?
supposed to, hold on, $5K for you, for someone who is gay or identifies in the LGBT world, they're supposed to get a $5,000 grant. Did you know about this?
I didn't know that.
Because it doesn't exist. The point is this. The point is this. Why are they spending millions of dollars in marketing money for Pride instead of giving that same amount of marketing money to those who deserve it?
it's just not
I would
possible.
argue that Pride is actually targeting vulnerable individuals who are dealing with the huge test and vulnerable test of homosexuality, gender, issues of sexuality, whatever it might be. Why aren't we giving them the money to get the help that they need? Why is it that 50% of people, according to the Trevor Project, 18,000 people were surveyed, they are not getting the help they need? Why aren't we giving them the help they need?
I just.
Wait, so real quick, why do you think the multi-billion-dollar corporation Google is the headquarters of Pride?
And by the way, it's not just Google. It could be Amazon. It could be a bunch of people. It's all corporations.
Is Amazon the headquarters of Pride?
No, I'm not saying that they're the headquarters of Pride.
Okay, so
what
then
I'm saying is that
why does that-
corporations take advantage of Pride Month by changing their logo and doing all these things to it from a corporate, but they don't really care about those who are lesbian, gay, trans, or anything like that. That's my argument.
So that's capitalism at its finest, where they don't give a
Sure.
shit as long as they make their
They
money.
don't. Yes.
So why are we?
It's okay.
What does that have to do with anything we talked about earlier? That was a question.
That's the question.
Yeah.
So I was in the argument of that your friend mentioned over here that being gay makes them happy. I showed you the statistics of how they're not actually being happy by that, right? And then based upon that, you also said that you should do whatever makes you happy. If we lived our lives and our moral compass was do whatever makes you happy, well then anyone could literally do whatever they want to make them happy, and it might be something wrong. Like for example, I give you the example of Jeffrey Dahmer, right? You said your counterexample was as long as you're not harming anyone or hurting someone, like what's the problem? You could do whatever you want. I could give you a further example. If someone, a brother, would like to commit incest with their sister and be sexually involved with them, if it makes them happy, why is it wrong?
I think that goes to.
In the mic.
Oh, I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
talking to the mic right here.
I mean, the incest example, I
Go
think
for it.
speaks to, oh, your mic is falling.
Oh, is it? Oh, we'll get that
I'll
fixed.
hold it.
You might have to just come a little closer.
Yeah. I mean, that speaks to just biology. I think it's just like a big health risk as well. I mean, obviously, I don't.
You said biology. Say that again. I'm sorry.
Like, I think it goes. I mean, there's a lot of genetic factors. I mean, if we look at like a lot of European history. Don't quote me again. I'm no historian. But like that, for example, like there was a lot of incest, and that led to a lot of not.
What's wrong with incest?
Well, I think it leads to a lot of just.
But they're happy doing it, and they could use protection.
Yeah, I understand that, but like.
So if they use protection, then there's no genetic issues, is there?
I understand. I think that's also just like a bit more of like a societal thing, and I think that it also just. I think it kind of has to do with maybe like the purpose of sex in a certain way, which is also a very different topic.
So what's the purpose of sex according to you?
I mean, I think it really, at the end of the day, depends on the individual.
Is it pleasure?
I mean, it can be.
Okay. So if it's pleasure, then incest isn't wrong based upon that definition.
I mean, if you want to argue that incest is okay,
No, sir. I am not arguing
think
that incest
again,
is okay. I'm pointing out the flaw in your argument. That based upon
No,
your
I
argument
see.
of
That
if
is a
something
big
is
weak
love
point.
and you have fun doing it and you're happy doing it, then it's okay. That's your argument.
No, I understand that and I agree with that, but I do still think it kind of goes on like a different, like I think it's very situational in many ways, and I think we can, for example, self-defense in many ways is okay. And before I said it's not good to kill someone, but let's say I had a kid and someone's trying to mug my kid and they have a gun, and I had a weapon, I might have to shoot because I don't want my kid to get hurt. And that's going to be a kind of a moral gray area in certain ways for myself.
So there's some conditions involved
I think there are a lot of conditions, and I think that goes with any argument in many ways.
So if there's conditions, this is why I'm saying there are conditions to love as well too.
Yeah.
Love should be in a conditional manner, right? You said, I'm just going back to what you said, I'm just quoting you.
Yeah,
you said if you're
absolutely.
happy doing it, you should do it, and if you're not harming anyone.
Right.
I gave you the example based upon your argument, and feel free to jump in anytime to help and defend him, right? You said that if you're happy doing it, you should be able to do it, right?
Yeah.
If it makes you happy, you're not harming anyone, you're not hurting anyone, then why not do it? But then why is it that when incest is brought up, you even mentioned the word societal by it, right? Well, why? Today, society doesn't accept it, but in 75 years, when a generation passes by, society is cool with it.
I mean, I think it does go to a lot of different moral things. And I think incest is a very fishy topic in many ways.
But love is love, isn't it?
Love is love, but I think it's different when it's your brother.
But then love isn't love.
I mean, I think it's a different type of love.
Look, the slogan, love is love, a very corporate thing. We spoke about this, right? See, this is what I'm trying to say. It's corporate propaganda, because we know internally, and when we actually break it down, love is not love. We know that. Look, you just gave an example of it.
Yeah, I understand that.
You're actually making sense. I'm not denying that. I agree with you on that. I do not believe incest is correct, because I believe that love has limitations. I believe love is conditional and should have structure and limitations.
I agree with that, but I think maybe, I think we're finding a bit of a common ground. Maybe we have different sets of limitations, because your limitations might only extend to heterosexual relationships, which is your own opinion, which is great for you, and mine does not. And of course mine stops at incest, of course. I don't agree with incest.
That's your limitation.
And that's my own limitation.
Okay. So what if someone in 75 years from now, when society accepts it as something normal, right, they look at you and say, hey, you're incest phobic or something like that?
Then I will have to deal with those, I guess, societal norms.
So in 75 years, when society thinks that incest is okay, does it make it right?
I really hope not. I really hope we don't get there in 75 years.
There we go. Okay, but use protection. You could be next, right? The question is this, right? Your argument. I just have to go back to what you said.
I understand that.
Because I'm on.
We can help. We can help.
It's too tight there. It wouldn't work, right? Okay, look, I don't want to take too much of your time. I appreciate the time that you took with me already.
Debate.
Right?
I think I like having these conversations, because I learn something and you learn something.
Okay. I think that it's important for us to have these conversations, only because that the quicker that it's okay, you can leave it. It'll probably fall off if you do. Just leave it. We're going to get it fixed after this, right? After you guys get up. Look, what I'm saying is this. You're saying that love does have limitations. Your limitation hit the ceiling for it was incest.
Absolutely.
Okay, good. What I'm saying to you is this, that it is wrong for you or me to decide what those limitations should be, because that's a subjective limitation. I believe that there should be an objective limitation.
Okay.
Now, the question would be, where does that objective limitation come from?
Right.
I would argue that the objective limitation should come from the person who made you, the creator, the being that made you. If this being made you, they have every right to tell you what is or is not allowed. Just like Apple, they have the right to tell you how to or not to use your phone. That does not mean you have to follow what they said. But it's their job to warn you, hey, do not put this in the microwave. Don't do it. You could do it, but just know that it'll void your warranty.
Absolutely.
Your warranty is gone. So my point is this. If there is a creator, I believe that this creator has every right to tell you what should or should not be done by humanity.
I understand
and where I would get my argument from is that the limitations of what love should be, and you also acknowledge that there are limitations of love. That should be provided by the creator. Incest is a limitation by the creator also. Okay? Just like homosexuality, act of homosexuality is a limitation from the creator.
I think, again, and this is also just my personal experiences.
Sure.
And again, not super in depth on the Bible. That was not my childhood. But from what I've learned from people, I've understood that the Bible doesn't explicitly say that a man cannot be with a man. It's a man that cannot be with a boy, which is condemning pedophilia specifically, which is, again, a limitation.
Pedophilia, by the way, is also another limit of love, right? That's another limit of love, meaning that's wrong.
Yes.
It is. Can we agree that certain things are right and certain things are wrong?
I agree that certain things can be right and certain things can be wrong.
But then the question becomes, who decides it? Because if it's society, well then even in this country, let's just say in the 60s or 70s, up until the 90s, homosexuality openly, publicly was wrong. Yes. It is only now that it has become publicly accepted. So what has happened in that span of time? Society has evolved and changed. So what if that same society evolves in a certain amount of years to say that incest is correct? What if, God forbid, they start saying pedophilia is okay?
Well, that's kind of what our government is doing right now, if we look at it.
Sure. I think we have a common ground on certain things over here. That love should have limits. The question I want to pose and leave you with is, who defines those limits? If it's society, then the goalpost will always change. If I believe it's the creator,
Right.
then this creator has defined until the end of time what is right from what is wrong objectively. That would be my argument.
I understand that. I can respect that. I think my last thing,
Please.
it's hard to say a creator in many ways because there's a lot of different religious texts.
Sure.
I mean, there's a gentleman over there selling a different, I forgot the name of the text. But I think that's one of the beautiful things about life. I think that we're all different. We all have different opinions about the world. And I think a conversation right here, right
Yes.
now, we have very different perspectives.
Sure.
And I can respect that you have a different perspective than me.
And I think that bridging happens when
Yeah.
we take two perspectives and we meet somewhere. It doesn't
Yeah.
mean coming up. You do not need to leave. I think the mistake that people think is that you need to leave here convinced.
Yeah.
No. I think the idea is that we need to open the conversation to have
Right.
it, because I believe that there is those who are dealing and struggling with homosexuality. They're being targeted by identity and consumerism to think that it's okay to do. And I think that they need help. I think instead of us spending money and billions of dollars in marketing, give the people the money to go get the help they need and actually get therapy and do what they need to do.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to say I agree with everything you just said. I think that there's a lot of resources that should be spent towards LGBTQ individuals.
Sure.
I think maybe we have different opinions on how those resources should be. I don't think it should be in a specific
I don't think a flag
regard.
does anything for anyone.
I can agree with that. I think it shows acceptance, which is, for example,
Yeah.
how did you feel when the Knicks won and everyone had the Knicks flags out? I'm sure you felt amazing.
So are you saying that the pride flag is a team?
I think so. I think it's a community.
So-
and I think that when we
Okay.
put out the pride flags, it shows that, hey, if you identify as LGBTQ, we respect and we accept you. Just like when the Knicks won, we had the flags
But we
out.
should be
we were all
accepting.
together.
We
Yeah.
should be accepting people regardless.
I agree.
I would argue whether you're gay or not, it should not hold back my love for you. It
Right.
should not cause me to discriminate against you. It should not make me hate you. It should
Right.
not. I should show you the same love and respect that I would show to anyone.
I absolutely agree
And
with
I do
that.
not believe that a person's whole identity should be their sexuality.
Right.
I believe you are deeper. You are more than that.
Yeah.
You are a universe within you.
Yeah.
Why is it that your sexuality is what you should be identifying as? I think that there's more to you to identify
Well, I think it's
than just your sexuality.
Yeah.
I'm getting bored.
Okay.
Oh, you're chiming in now. Okay.
Yeah,
very
yeah.
nice,
Let me
very
get.
nice.
Let me get.
I struck something that made you want to talk.
So,
Very
so
good.
do you think having that sign out there is showing love to the community?
Say that again, please.
Do you think having that sign out there is that part of you showing love?
No, I think it's drawing attention.
Oh, so that is spreading love then, or?
That's drawing attention.
I thought you said everything you do, you want to make sure you're always spreading love to everyone. Because I like that.
I
but
didn't
don't
say
thi-
that. If you're gonna quote me, you have to quote me correctly. Please
Okay,
try
sorry.
again.
I don't know what you said. What'd you say?
Okay, then your argument is invalid. You could get back the microphone.
Why is my argument invalid?
Because you didn't quote me correctly. You put words in my mouth.
What? Okay,
I didn't say that.
Okay, I apologize. Would you
Okay.
mind repeating, or did you already forget
I would
as well?
mind. I'm not gonna repeat that again.
Oh, you're not gonna repeat.
Just watch out. No, I'm not gonna repeat it. Not your fault. Not your fault.
How'd that happen?
It's Timu. You know what can I say?
Oh, you order off Timu.
Temu.
Don't do that, dude. Everything's just. Oh, I think it's pronounced Temu. Did you know that?
Timu.
Isn't that awesome?
Is that how they say in Germany?
What? No, I'm not actually from
Do
Germany.
they put a K in there?
No.
Okay. They should put a K in there somewhere.
Where?
Now you're gonna have to open it up and. Do
Yeah,
that.
other
Listen,
people.
guys, look. One second for this.
I mean, as long as you're spreading love, then I don't care. But you're not spreading love, man. I don't appreciate that.
Was that a loving statement to me?
What? Oh, I don't. I'm not. I don't always spread love. I'm a hater. I'm a
there
self-real
you
dude.
go, there you go.
I be hating. I be
All right,
hating.
that's okay.
Fuck Trump. Like, what else can I say?
Listen, thank you for the conversation. I appreciate you locking in.
Yeah.
That changed the entire dynamic of it. It takes a lot of courage to do that.
Mm.
And
I would be
Are you able to show me some love too?
I'm gonna think about it.
Hey, dude, that's not what you said. That's not very nice.
I think, hey, one thing I
Not
would
showing me
suggest
love.
of you, the next person comes up here, just tell them that you love them no matter what.
Sure.
I think
I like
that's,
that.
in my opinion, with the Bible, with religion, I think that people
I think
there's
when
too
it-
much hate out here.
Yeah.
And I think that even what he was saying, I agree with what he was saying. Obviously, he's not very, he's German.
He's
right?
German. He's German. We're just
I
gonna.
think that if I think that if you were to maybe rewrite your sign and say something about love instead would be a lot
Yeah.
more impactful to people.
I think that the sign's purpose is to just draw attention.
I understand
Once
that.
you sit down with me, I think that that's when the person understands that, hey, this is what I
got it?
actually mean by it,
Make sure it doesn't
right?
break, right?
I'm holding it from it, right? I think that's what it comes down to. But what was your name?
Jesse.
SQ, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Look, I just appreciate the conversation. I appreciate your patience with me.
Yeah.
And like I said, I appreciate you locking in with that. So what was your name?
I'm Rafael.
SQ, nice to meet you, right? And I appreciate you guys just like locking into the conversation and getting serious. But it was a fun time, and I hope that we both can walk away from it.
I hope so as well.
Yeah.
How do you spell that? Just like curiosity.
And S and a Q. Put a K in there because you're German.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I think this is valid.
SQ.
SQ, nice to meet you.
With a K at the end.
It's good, bro.
Yo, okay, just lock it in again.
It's good.
Okay, wow. Okay, yeah, chat. What'd y'all think? That was okay. Alhamdulillah, 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 alhamdulillah. All right. What you saying, Ibrahim? My thing. Oh, my thing started going the other way. Yeah. Now, I think that also we would need to probably drill it in, but nonetheless, hey, this is day one. This is us just trying to figure out over there. Chat, what you guys are saying right now? Okay, wow, mashallah, barakallah. Okay, what you guys think about that? Okay. Now, I think that it was a lovely conversation. It was a lovely conversation, right? But I think that it all fell apart when he came to the love thing. It's just that the love argument is just kind of weak. It comes down to it. Because the moment he figured out that love has limitations, well, then who are you to put the limitation on the love? That's when it falls apart. It's just, it's a simple argument, but it's stronger than we realize. Okay, yeah. That was a... Hey, we got one in the books though, right? We need to get another one, babe. We got one. They became a little bit of a crowd. But were you able to get a quick like? Oh. Yeah. You're welcome to come and sit down. You can never change my mind. It's ready. It's ready right here. Why shouldn't we be chill with them? We should be chill with everyone. Are you up for it? 5 minutes. Give it a try. I'm open. Have a seat. Fantastic. Hello.
Can I ask why it's wrong?
About helping. No, I had notes for statistics. Yes, I did have notes. All right, what was your name, by the way?
Leak.
Leak, nice to meet you. SQ. Nice to meet you, Leak.
Can I ask first, why is it wrong?
You know, you're the first person to ask me that question off the rip instead of just telling me what you think, right? I would say that who is it that would define right or wrong? That would be where the premise of my conversation would even go with you. By the way, we could put the headphones on. Put the headphones on. It'll be easier. Tell me if this is a little bit better for you.
Oh, it's better. It's good.
Much better.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Fantastic. Tell me. Go for it.
Wait, so yeah, why is it wrong? Like, where's that? Let's start with the basics of that.
I believe that there is an objective right and an objective wrong. And
Okay.
it's not just it's not limited to just sexuality. I think in just the laws of the world, there is a right and there is a wrong. So I do believe that there is a definite objective right and there are objective wrongs rather than the subjective side.
So you don't believe that there's gray in this world? Since you believe everything is right or wrong, black and white.
What do you mean by, you'd have to give me an example of gray.
Moral gray ambiguity is just like maybe someone is doing something wrong, but
Okay.
like the contextual, like
Okay.
the context of it is like there is some rightness to it.
Okay, that's a very good point. I think what gets us out of the gray area is having an objective right or wrong so that you can either make it right or wrong. Because if you're uncertain about things, that's a natural human instinct, that's common, right? And based upon my beliefs and values, whatever you are uncertain about, you are to leave that idea until it becomes clear to you. But I do believe that right and wrong exists. Those are two extremes, right and wrong are two extremes. The gray area might be leaning towards the middle or one side or the other, but the right and wrong should help you navigate that gray area so that you could find out your true moral compass of what's right from wrong. So I believe that a person can start off in the gray area, but then they could be swayed to either the right or the wrong side if we're talking about color between black and white, if that makes sense.
I get what you're saying. So why?
What about you? Do you believe that homosexuality is correct?
Define correct, because I feel like there's no, like that's very blatant, because like there's no correctness in it, because that's someone's personal thing. That's a personal belief.
So do you believe that there is a objective right or wrong in life?
Contextually, but
Tell me more.
because I feel like some things are right and some things are wrong. I feel like murder is objectively wrong,
Okay.
but like self-defense, that's a case in itself.
Okay. So there's caveats, right? Okay, there's also exceptions. There's some exceptions.
There
to
is
it.
some gray because
Okay,
I feel like life isn't black and white.
So
it's gray.
I wouldn't say that self-defense is gray. I would say that that's leaning towards the right or the wrong side. Like that would be in the right. Like you are in the right to defend yourself.
I
So
would
that
say-
wouldn't be gray. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt, but
No,
I feel
please
like
go for it. It's okay.
Chud, the fucking guy who killed that one person, who shot that one guy who's been arrested. I feel like that's the case of where self-defense is wrong because he was purposely antagonizing people and he was doing that to get a reaction, and that reaction was to antagonize black people, and he did what he did, and that black person attacked him because he got provoked, and then he shot them. He shot them in the case of self-defense, and I feel like it's wrong in his case because he was doing his actions were knowingly causing harm to people,
Okay.
and he wanted to get a reaction from someone.
Okay.
So that's where I feel like self-defense is wrong. So that's where I also see like there isn't very much black and white in that perspective because there is gray.
Okay. Just to go off that example to bring it back to our conversation about sexuality, okay? That's why we have courts, right? That's why we have a judicial system where we can bring all the evidence and the jury that's supposed to be unbiased, which is very tough, right? They can weigh out the facts and then they could go from that gray area to define whether it was right or it was wrong. Yes. So I believe that at first it can be gray. Like I said, a human being could start off in the gray area, but with the right type of systems, with the right type of understandings, you can move from the black or the white side of the fence. Okay.
So-
now let's go to okay, go for it.
I was
No,
literally gonna
please,
bring
please,
it
it's
bring
okay.
it back, Brett. So
Please.
why is being gay wrong? Why?
Very good, very good. I believe that there is moral objectivity of right from wrong. I believe that. I believe that morality is not subjective, because if you are, allowing society to define what is right from wrong, then guess what? I mean, in Europe, the drinking age is 18. Over here is 21. Who's right? Is it 21 or is it 18, right? If you allow society to dictate what rules and laws and regulations should be, that's a very subjective approach. And based upon that idea, we're going to keep moving the goalposts. I believe that right or wrong, morality should be objective. And I don't think that comes from society. I believe it comes from something more divine, something more spiritual, something bigger, a divine law.
So again, why is being gay wrong? Because you didn't answer the question.
So let's bring it back to that before we go to why gay is wrong. Do you believe that there's objective right or wrong?
No.
No. There we go. So now that's better, because now we have an understanding of the premise. So since you don't believe that there's an objective right from wrong, how do you know that murdering someone is wrong?
I feel like murdering someone is wrong because you are taking the life of someone that could be alive.
Okay. So your judgment is based upon feeling.
Not necessary, because as you said, judicial system, in the purview of law, if you murder someone, you're inherently in the wrong because you killed that person, and then you're going to be labeled as a murderer.
Okay.
Which means you're going to go to jail because the systems of whatchamacallit.
So when you said that I feel that it's wrong, right? When you say a word, I'm just quoting what you said, right? When you said I feel, right? When you say you feel, that points a signal to me that your standards of what's right from wrong comes from how you feel about it, right? If it feels, there we go, right? And that's okay. And that's where I believe as a society we've turned to deciding what's right from wrong based upon our feelings. I believe that I can tell you why murder is wrong. I would agree with you, it is wrong, but it's not based upon how I feel about it. I believe that it is wrong because there is a divine law that tells us it is wrong. The creator of the heavens and the earth and all of creation in between has taught us that murdering someone, unless it's in the act of self-defense, it is incorrect. That's where I would get my law. So I would get my law of sexuality also being right from wrong. And it is not limited to homosexuality. It's not limited to that. I mean, I would say pedophilia is wrong. Would you agree?
I do agree.
Okay, why?
Because that is taking advantage of someone who doesn't know doesn't know better, and it's a
Do you feel like it's wrong, or is it wrong?
It is wrong. Objectively, I feel like pedophilia is wrong.
Where did you get the objective from?
Because I don't think that
You think. That's feeling. Be careful. Sorry.
No.
If it's slipping off my head, you stay with yours.
I mean, like, adults shouldn't be taking advantage of children because that's an abuse of power.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. And my objective law would support that argument. My question to you is, what law do you use to support the argument? Because it's right. No problem. You feel, it goes back to the feeling and thinking. Okay, so look. So even with that, right, going back to the argument of sexuality and from that perspective, right, I would say that my rulings from what is right from wrong comes from objective truth. Not just from me being a Muslim, from someone being a Christian or Jewish. The problem is that people don't use divine law. I believe that the Creator, who made you, who made me, who made everything in between, has told us what is right from what is wrong, who's also said that being with a child is incorrect. So that's where I would get my objective law from, saying that no, it is wrong. It is wrong to be incorrect. Would you say that being with a sibling is incorrect?
Yes, I would.
Like
very much say that.
objectively?
Objectively, yes, very much so. Yes.
You sure? You don't sound like, how can you be objectively sure about that? Prove to me objectively that it is wrong to have incest.
I mean, like, conceptually, I don't think that's not.
You don't think it's wrong?
I do think it's wrong. I
Okay.
don't think that you should sleep in bed with your sibling. Like,
But why not? If they feel like it,
I mean, like, we can get, like, nitty gritty wise, like, it fucks up the, like, genetics wise, and then, like, it leads to problems in, like, a child.
they're using a condom. Don't worry about it.
That's still not good.
But you see, look, innately, instinctively, your fitra, in Arabic, the word is called fitra.
Fitra.
We believe it's like your operating system. Your operating system is rejecting what I'm telling you because that operating system is saying, hell no, absolutely not. This is wrong. I don't care if you use protection. I don't care what you're doing. It is wrong because that is your fitra. We believe that the human operating system tells us what's right from wrong. Scripture, divine law confirms what your fitra, your operating system, tells you. So I would agree with you. I would agree that incest is wrong. I don't care how much you like it. I don't care how good it feels. Incest is incorrect. It is wrong. It is an act of sexual impermissibility. There are certain things that are sexually impermissible. With that same argument, I would say a man being with a man is also incorrect.
So, is the basis of this argument just on a religious standpoint?
About objective truth, yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, like, I feel like that is where lines can get kind of blurry just because of how scripture is regurgitated and but it gets lost in translation over time.
Don't you feel like divine law telling you what's objectively right from wrong helps not blur the line? Doesn't it make the line a lot more clearer so that you're not going into the other side of things? Like, look, the World Cup is happening right now. You know what goal is your goal. You know which is your opponent's goal. That is not a blurred line. That is very clear-cut instruction that that's my goal, that's your goal. My objective is to score in your goal and not let you score in my goal. So isn't divine law helping us become more objectively sound, removing those blurred?
From my personal experience as a Catholic, it's not just because the way the Bible is, it's been reiterated and it got, the essence of the Bible is lost from what it was and what it was.
Okay.
So it's like, by saying divine
I can
law,
make the argument for a lot of things, by the way, and I would agree with that for sure.
So it's like, I feel like in that instance, it's like, it's not the same just because it's the word of man being told by another that's getting, it's a long game of telephone being played out from a lot of years. So it's like, a lot of things are going to get lost in translation.
Okay.
So it's like, the morality of it gets into that gray, and
Okay.
it also gets turned into that facet of where, like, some things have nuance now. Like, I think it's not hurting anyone if a man sleeps with a man because
Okay.
that's between those two people, and it's not gonna affect the outside world. Like, me having sex with another man is not gonna affect you.
Okay. So do you feel like, okay, so you said a man sleeping with another man is not going to affect anyone, right? So let's use back that example, which is very crude. I'm using that example because it's just such a obviously non-blurred line. I would argue that homosexuality today has become a blurred line. Once upon a time it wasn't. I think now, because even in this country, in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and until the 90s, right, it was very clear cut that it was a very taboo thing. If you were gay, you keep it private, you keep it between you and your partner. Okay, no problem. Not bringing it publicly, not bringing it in the TV, not bringing it in the media, right? Once upon a time, that's how the world lived, right? And there was not a blurred line. Now it's become more clear. Now I'm asking you this, right? I bring the example of incest. If it's not hurting anyone, if they're having fun, then what's the problem? It is your job to tell me what the issue is.
But there is a problem when it comes to incest because whatchamacallit, it fucks with like I'm gonna go back to
tell
DNA
me, it's
chromosome.
okay, yeah.
So it's like it's child, if they're birthed through incest, it's gonna lead through birth defects, and then you harm someone by doing that because you knowingly went to sleep with your sibling, and then the consequence of that is your child, if that happens.
Do you think there's a psychological effect also of two siblings sleeping together?
Very much so, yeah.
Very much so. So why is there not a psychological effect of two men sleeping together?
Because that's something you're born as. Like, I believe that you're born gay. Like, coming as a non-binary.
That's your belief, right?
Yes.
That's not my belief. My belief is something that's something that you could struggle with. I believe that's something that you could be tested with. I believe your sexuality, whether you're gay or straight, right, is still a test. Just because I'm a straight male, if you want to identify it as that, right? If that's my test, that doesn't give me the right to go sleep with as many women as I want to, harm as many people as I want to, or just sleep with whoever I want. There's still laws, rules, and regulations even for me. So this is not limited to someone who is just gay, right? Going back to the argument of that about the incest, you said that if they were to have a kid, there's two ways that this argument falls apart. One, if they use protection. Two, if two brothers were together. Now, not only is it gay, but it's incestually gay. So now there's two men who like each other who also happen to be brothers.
Well, I feel like
they were born this way, and guess what? They were born together. So it's also homosexuality. You have stats.
The highest rates of domestic violence are
Sure.
bisexual women.
Sure.
Like, being gay is not.
Okay. Based upon suicide, this is a study from the Trevor's Project, okay, survey that they surveyed 18,000 LGBT youth surveyed, okay, 18,000, okay. Those who have come out, right, have said, 39% said that they have considered suicide. 12% have attempted suicide. 50% have had mental health care but couldn't receive the mental health care. And this is also before they had come out. There's also statistics over here from the CDC, right? I also have, right? Regarding those who reported abuse and trauma as going up. I believe that trauma can affect people when they're growing up. You're saying they're born that way. I believe that even if I were to go with the argument they were born that way, I believe that morality is the test. You are tested to see, will you act upon your desires or will you act upon what you believe is to be correct? Just because you desire it doesn't mean it's correct.
Can we take a macro scope?
Please, take it, go for it.
Because like a lot of like being gay is still taboo. Like it's not, even though it's in media and like there is some form of representation,
okay,
it isn't widely accepted, especially on an international scope. So the cause for like the case of like suicide, self-harm, mental health is just because of how taboo it still is, and like some families still don't accept you if you're gay. So it's like that leads you into isolationist type of mindset where it's like it's you against the world, it's only you. So then like that kind of setting that can put someone in can get someone to maybe want to harm themselves or maybe leads to further mental health issues. So I feel like that argument in which like gay youth have higher risk of suicide, self-harm, that is because of the greater societal impact that being gay has and the stigma of what being gay is.
So you believe if society accepted them all at once, no problem whatsoever, mental health would go away?
No, because mental health is like, that's a very nuanced question in and of itself, because I feel
Why is it nuanced?
Because everyone suffers from different things mentally, and the situation, and as you said, trauma, that does lead to different causes for how someone feels mentally and how further of a spiral it leads to someone. So I feel like again, it's like it's very much contextual. That's why I say there's a lot of gray in the world, because it's like, yes, you can see stuff in an objective lens, but like when you really dissect it and like take it apart, there's more layers and nuance that comes with it, and like maybe someone is feeling that type of way because of something else.
Okay. I want to be clear over here. I do not believe that being gay is wrong. Make it clear. I do not believe that being gay is wrong. I believe the acting on that impulse is what makes it incorrect.
Define impulse. What impulse?
Impulse meaning the act of the sexual side of actually indulging in that desire is what is incorrect. Meaning if an individual who identifies themselves to be gay and has attractive feeling, a male who has attracted to another male or female attracted to another female, I do not believe that that is what is incorrect, because anyone could be tested with their sexuality. I believe what's incorrect is the acting upon that desire. And I believe that no matter if you were to just have a day where everyone just comes out and say, hey, you know what, I came out the closet, hey, I am gay, and you feel better. I do not believe that that is what's going to give an individual peace, contentment, and happiness. I believe that peace, contentment, and happiness comes from submitting your will to your Creator and not to the will of your desires. That's what I believe. I believe that if you made desires your Lord or your Creator or your guiding compass, then that is not the recipe for happiness. I believe, and this is based upon my beliefs in divine knowledge, right? Divine scripture, that happiness stems from submitting to divine law and creation and what the Creator wants for you, not what you want for yourself. That's where I believe happiness stems from.
So where would my happiness come from as an atheist? Like, because
I don't believe that you are happy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know. I believe you string moments of happiness. I believe that you will say, oh, I went to Coachella that time, and then, we went to the party this other time, and, we got high this other time, and, my mom gave me a card the other day, and it was my birthday the other day. I believe that you string moments of happiness, but I also believe that you indulge in things that are numbing you so that you don't have to think about the bigger questions and the bigger picture, which is life after death and what happens to you after this temporary world finishes. I believe that you're stringing along moments of happiness, convincing yourself that you're happy, but when you really, really boil it down, you realize that you're not happy and that you're just trying to find moments of happiness. And I believe the reason is because the heart will only find true happiness when it connects with the owner. When it knows its real GPS, the satellite, when it gets to the satellite, that's when it's happy. Otherwise, if you're roaming around with no network, my man, then damn, it ain't gonna work.
I mean, I wasn't happy when I was in service.
Okay.
I would say I didn't feel a greater sense of happiness when I went through Ramadan. I feel like that purview is very based on a one-sided direction, and it negates the outside happiness that life can actually bring. I feel like life can actually bring happiness.
You believe life could bring you happiness? Okay,
Very
how
much
so?
Because I feel like living and just experiencing life how it is can give you all that you want and all that you desire. Because I feel like during Ramadan I definitely felt closer to myself. I did.
Why do you feel like you felt closer in Ramadan?
Because prayer was nice. The fast definitely allowed me to really hunker down and feel okay, this is my body. I'm really trying to the outside were all extremities, but I wouldn't say that gave me more happiness. It made me content with what I was feeling in the moment, and
did it make you more self-aware?
Not really, no. I felt the same awareness.
Mm-hmm. So what was it that prayer did for you, or that fasting itself did for you? Because you mentioned that it was doing something for you. What was that?
It was giving me another perspective. I would say I'm not a full Muslim, but I do connect with part of scripture. But it's not I know that religion for me itself isn't gonna give me happiness, just because of the.
Because you've tried it?
Yes.
Yeah. And what did you try?
My family is Catholic.
Okay.
And then after high school, I learned about Islam, and then I started doing a little bit of practice.
Okay.
And then after that, I was I feel like I'm not an organized religious person. I feel like organized religion isn't for me, and it feels almost cultish.
Okay. So you've studied the Quran?
Not fully, no.
Okay. Can I give you one for free? There you go. That's for you.
Thank you.
We believe the Quran is the final verbatim word from God. It's never been changed or altered. What my arguments came from, and I want to be very clear over here because people are joining in. They'll be like, oh my God, this Muslim guy hates gay people. No. In Islam, we are not allowed to hate gay people or straight people or anyone.
Yeah.
We're not allowed to do that. Why? Because in Islam, respecting someone's dignity, their sexual orientation, or however it might be, is your job. Rather, if I saw a gay person being picked on, bullied, it is my responsibility as a Muslim to stop that from happening and fix the situation and defend their honor and their dignity. Because we believe that service to humanity is the most important thing. So when you say, the issue is that people don't understand, they conflated the two things. It is, like I said, it is the act. It is the acting upon that desire, which in Islam we believe is incorrect. If a person who is innocent of their desire, who feels that, who is struggling with that, I believe that they should be getting the proper help that they need so they could talk through these issues, talk through these feelings, get the counseling, get these things going on with. I believe that's what would help them out. But to indulge in your desire, I believe that is incorrect.
So then I feel like the question itself is misconstrued, and it's whatchamacallit?
It's a little bit of a rage bait thing.
It is
a little bit.
a rage bait thing.
A little bit.
Like,
a little attention grabbing. I know.
It is.
We're in
So-
Washington Square Park, bro. I can't just say that. I think that the idea is that you come all heated, but then you speak to me, you're like, okay, I think I understand what he's trying to say. He's not trying to say this, right? Okay, so what have you actually gathered from this conversation, if I were to ask you?
Well, at first I know that you're not saying that being gay is wrong. It's the acting upon sexual desire.
Yes.
Heavily on the sexual desire,
Yes.
which I feel like that in and of itself is a whole different conversation.
Yeah. Well, look, I appreciate the conversation.
Same.
And I think that it takes a lot of courage to have an open conversation like this. I think that if we had more open conversations without rage and anger and, and we're open to actually just talk about it, and just understand the other person's perspective, I think that would actually end a lot of prejudice that happen. I think that if a person who identifies as a homosexual, if they're being mistreated in the workplace, it is everyone's responsibility to help them out and get them justice, because justice is something that all human individuals deserve. And upholding that justice for everyone is something that we all should strive to do. Right? So this is not against anyone who is gay or not. I believe that the system of pride, which is using the vulnerable people who are gay or lesbian or trans, I believe they are vulnerable, and they are being tricked with gender identity and self-identity and consumerism to actually go down this path and have 1 month of pride for them, saying that we're celebrating you. But in reality is that, the LGBT market is a $3.36 trillion market, and I believe that they're being taken advantage of. Instead of giving that money and investing it in the mental health and the care that LGBT people might need, a person might need, Google is advertising with it, Amazon is putting a sale for it, Gap is going with it. Give the money to the people who need it. Invest it in that instead of marketing dollars.
That's a bigger problem in capitalism.
That's
why I feel like that's why I believe that capitalism as a economic structure and system is bad for the people. So
Sure.
I agree with you on that part, in which
Okay.
we should divest from giant global conglomerate and the quote unquote representation that they give, and we
Sure.
should give it to the actual people.
And give the power back to the people and actually help the people who have that. Like I said, 50% of people said they need mental health help, but they are unable to get it. So why are we spending billions of dollars in advertising? Why not give them the money? Why not create a fund? $5,000 for those who identify as an LGBT person, give them the money and let them get the help that they need.
It's because of capitalism and
All right, that's capitalism at its finest. Look, I appreciate your time and the conversation we were willing to have. It takes a lot of courage to do so, and I appreciate your time. Okay?
I appreciate it. Thank
Of course, man. God bless you. Be well. Thank you for your time, okay? I know you was on the side.
Assalamualaikum. Can I have a photo with you?
Yes, let's have a photo. I'll stand up. Wow. Oh, wait.
How are you?
I'm good, my man. How are you?
I am so good, bro. I just came out here.
Wait, from Pelham Parkway to Washington Square Park? Is that how we do things now? From Pelham Parkway to Washington Square Park? Ciao, what's going on? Okay. So what would you be? Would you like to jump in on this? Do you know the question? You would agree with it?
Yeah.
Okay, why don't you jump in and share why you agree? Nice seeing you again. No longer Pelham Park. Wait, Washington Park. Bring your chair in. Let my man just prime you in real quick.
Horace,
Wow.
I could wear these.
Of course. Please. Just so you know, bro, the middle one, I know the filter's kind of off, but just like check the brightness of it, okay? Thank you, bro. Oh. Malou Cash. Nice closing statement. Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you guys for joining in, by the way. I do believe Christianity is very close to Islam, and so is Judaism. Why? Because it has the same creator as the author. That's why I
Yahweh?
believe that there is.
You believe in Yahweh?
If the creator itself is the writer of both, then of course, yeah. You say Yahweh?
Yahweh.
Yahweh, no. If that's the name you want to go by, if you still mean the one true creator, he could have many names. If you want to call him Yahweh, if some people call him Jehovah, if they want to call it Elohim, you want to call him Allah. As long as we are talking about the God of Abraham, then yes.
Oh, yeah. I would say Jesus is the God of Abraham.
No problem. That's for another discussion. So talk to me this, right?
Yes.
You believe that being gay is wrong.
Yes.
Why is that?
I believe there's something called natural law. So I believe that we have ends to, for things that exist. For example, for these headphones, the end for this is to, portray audio into my ears.
Okay.
The end for a man and a woman is to unite together. But when it comes to a man and a man, it is something that perverts the natural end of a man and a woman.
So you believe that there is something called sexual perversion?
Yes.
Yeah. What is an example of sexual perversion, and where do you get these ideas from?
Yeah, I would say ultimately it would come from my religion, Christianity, because I would say that it encompasses all truth. It's not just about revelation from God.
So you believe that Christianity, homosexuality is incorrect.
Yes.
In Christianity. I heard an argument today. Someone came over there and they said that the Bible said that a man should not lay with a boy. And they said that was the argument. I don't know. They said that to me. I'm just saying what they said, right? And they said that is the argument for pedophilia and not for actual a man and a man who are two consensual individuals. What would be your argument to that person?
Well, even if I were to say yes, let's say actually it's between a man and a boy. What's we're currently taught in Christianity, it's the continuation of the Old Testament. It's that in the New Testament we see that we don't only not encourage pedophilia, but we also do not encourage what perverts the sacrament of marriage or the gift of marriage that God gives us.
So say that again. Say that last part about the marriage.
The last part was that whatever would the Bible. It's a recurrent teaching that whatever perverts marriage between a man and a woman, that would be wrong.
Okay, so if someone says that two men marrying together, you would say that because it's marriage, it's not right. I mean, look, the Pope, right? The Pope has what? Didn't he legalize gay marriages, right? Didn't he say it's okay, or isn't he pro LGBT itself? The new Pope that you have.
Yeah, the new Pope. The new Pope. I mean, they ought to. Obviously stick with God's moral law, which is, that it's completely wrong. And they obviously wouldn't endorse that.
I met a priest who said that homosexuality in the Old Testament is misunderstood. They don't mean that, and it is okay to actually for two men to be together. And I brought the argument. I felt more Christian than him. I'm gonna be honest with you, right? I said to him, but what about Lot and the Sodom and Gomorrah and this and that, right? What about these things? Yeah. And he says that, look, I think that we need to understand Scripture in more modern context, right? Yeah. What is your argument to a Christian, literally a priest? I swear to God, bro, it's on my YouTube channel. You can check it out. A real priest who said this to me, right? Yeah. And like I said, I was defending it for you, bro.
Wow.
My question is, what would you say to them? Have you ever met a Christian or a priest who spoke this way? Have you ever had an encounter like this?
I mean, even if let's say that there actually exist priests out there that would endorse that, that's not something that's endorsed by the very own authority that they ought to submit to with the church.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think, according to Christianity or your own thoughts, right? Someone says that they're born gay. What is the Christianity's understanding of that and in homosexuality? What is your understanding?
Yeah. So in Christianity, we believe that we're born flawed, and that born flawed can look in many different ways. Let's say I'm born a straight man, yes, but I'm a man that struggles with lust. Or let's say that you are born with its inclination to be attracted to other men.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. We're born with our struggles. That's what Christianity says.
Okay. And it's interesting because in Islam, we would believe that as well, too. That your sexuality is a test. We believe that ultimately all of this is a test. Your lust, your desires is all a test. And we believe that what purifies you is passing this test with the Creator's help and permission and His mercy. And your test is different from my test.
Yeah.
If your test is the lust of another man, right?
Yeah.
My test could be the lust of multiple women,
Multiple
right?
women,
There we
right.
go, right?
Yeah.
We both are being tested, and the what will elevate us is
Mm-hmm.
the ability to pass that test, and we believe the only way we could pass that test is by turning back to the Creator and falling into His mercy
Yeah.
and His grace.
Yeah, we believe in something similar. I mean, we have this belief that we're born broken, and the one that's only going to restore us is obviously going to be Christ. You know,
Sure.
the one that redeems us, the one that holds us accountable. Because since we're born into a world with, where we're born with a sinful inclination, then that means that there's obviously going to be a standard that which we need to learn from when it comes to being good. So Christ is not only saving us from our sins, He's also teaching us to get away from our sin.
Okay. So, do you believe in Christianity that being gay is wrong, or do you believe that the act of being gay is wrong?
Yeah, I would say being gay is the act, because you can, for example, let's say I have hatred against you, right? Let's say I have this desire to actually end your life, right?
Okay.
For the sake of the conversation. I am not a murderer, because to be a murderer, to be guilty of murder would be if I accept that
Okay.
desire, if I manifest it. So in the same way, obviously we're all flawed men. We all think crazy things. We're only guilty if we act upon that thing.
So how is it a sin to be gay? Because you said being gay and acting upon that is the same thing.
Yes.
Okay, so you just mentioned about it being the act of it. Like, if you're not
Yeah.
acting upon it, then why would that be a sin?
If you're not acting, well, I wouldn't call it a sin if you are tempted, right? Because we all have that. I want to make the line between temptation and giving into this temptation.
Okay, so then being gay and acting upon are two different things then.
Yes, if that's how you're looking
Okay,
at it, yeah.
right? So one would be considered a sin and the other one would not be considered a sin.
Yes.
Okay, there we go. See, look, hey man, look, we can have these conversations over here. Not too bad. Okay, so in Islam, we believe that a person could be tested with their sexuality,
Yeah.
and where they are attracted to men, or have any type of lustful desires, whether it be for more women, more men, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
But we do not believe that that is the sin, right? We believe that acting upon that desire is the sin.
Agreed.
Rather, we would believe that if you were to avoid committing that sin
Yeah.
and falling into that trap or falling into your desire of that sin, the Almighty would actually reward you. And rather, if you were to abstain from that sin, that could be your ticket to paradise. We believe that you could enter paradise, Jannah, you would know that word,
Jannah.
that you could enter paradise by avoiding and abstaining from your desires of being with another man or a woman being with another woman. Just by staying away from that desire, because you put the desire and the love and the obedience and submission of your Creator above your own desire.
Yeah.
So as a Muslim, we believe that if you were to avoid that and say that, look, we would say Allah, you could say Yahweh, right?
Yahweh, yeah.
Allah, you know my heart inclines towards another man. But Allah, my heart inclines more to your obedience.
Amen.
Allah, because of you, I will not indulge in this fitna, in this sin. Oh Allah, replace this from my heart, remove it. And that person might every single day have that sin and temptation, but every day we believe in Islam that his rank and elevation in paradise is increasing every single moment that he abstains from it. And let's suppose he does have a weakness, a weak day,
Yeah.
and he commits in that sin. We believe Allah is the most forgiving, the most merciful.
Amen.
By him asking for sincere repentance and forgiveness and renewing his intention, all is forgiven, all is wiped away, and he is back on the track stronger than ever.
Yeah, I love that. You know, I guess in your religion, the only difference is that since for you,
Did you say you just love that? Are we having an actual amazing dialogue of two separate religions? Is it possible? Is it possible for two men of faith to have a calm, respectful dialogue where we could see the similarities? Ain't that something?
Yeah,
Ain't that
it
something?
is, and that's what matters. You know, if the dialogue isn't respectful, then it can't be fruitful. It actually can be damaging if we are just constantly bickering about
Sure.
each other's religion.
Just speak more into the mic.
Of course. So as I was saying, that it actually is damaging to just encourage more bickering instead of fruitful discussions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, look, I think that we're on a similar understanding, because a lot of times, sometimes think. Well, okay. So, what would be your advice to those religious people, I want to say religious people, quote unquote, who are bashing homosexuals. What is your advice to them?
My advice is that if you want to blame another person for having a weakness, then they should also blame themselves for having a weakness, because if by that standard they're judging other people, then they should judge themselves. I would say first look inwardly before judging another person.
What did Jesus say about casting the first stone?
Those who have not sinned cast the first stone.
There we go.
Yep.
No one should be casting a stone.
Exactly.
Right? So judging someone is actually pushing them more towards their desires and their inclination, their lust, instead of leading with God's mercy and forgiveness.
Exactly.
Right? A lot of times I had this comment, someone said that, oh, is it bad that I'm disgusted by gay people? I said, yes, that's actually a quality of your heart.
Yeah.
That shows that there's the fact that hatred in your heart, right? Hatred in your heart, hatred and heart have the same words, the same letters. Hatred and heart, same letters, right?
Yeah.
When a person has hatred, it is a condition of disease of their heart.
Yeah.
If a Muslim or a Jew or a Christian has disgust or hatreds towards someone who is gay or homosexual, who is that is wrong.
Yeah.
That is a sign that there is hatred in your heart. And the truth is that you should be cleansing your hearts.
Exactly. Before
You should be
do
cleansing
that. Yeah.
before you try to help them out, right?
Yes.
And rather, you should be leaving with God's mercy and His forgiveness and understanding that, look, your sexuality is a test.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't be bashing someone who is gay. You should be upholding. I would argue as a Muslim, if you saw a person who's being bullied or picked on or harmed because of their sexuality, you should stop it.
Yeah.
You should
agreed.
end it.
Yeah.
Why? Because respecting someone's human dignity should be the
Your
number
priority.
one
Yep,
priority.
Yep.
This is what
Priority.
Jesus would teach. This is what the Prophet Muhammad, peace be
Yeah.
upon him, would teach.
Yeah.
Why? Because human dignity is the right of every human being.
Absolutely.
That is your right.
Yep.
So any religious fanatic who goes and says, oh, gay is this and this and this and this, I agree with you to the extent where, yes, it is a sin, the act of it.
Yes,
But
that.
that person is still an individual. In Islam,
Yes.
we have a distinguishing factor between, we say we hate the sin but not the sinner.
Not the sinner. Yeah. Yeah.
We hate the sin but not the sinner. You are supposed to speak to them as an individual, in a loving manner, because if you don't, then you're only pushing them more towards their desires and the lust.
Yes.
And that's just going to get them nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. We say as Christians that we ought to prioritize an individual's dignity because they are created in the image of God. And that's going to be very important because we also tend to overlook that when we are addressing them in their sin. So when it comes to that, this is going to be the message that I would just give out for the people that
I like
want
that.
to
I like
judge.
that point you made. You're addressing them in their sin, and
Yeah.
that's only making their sin more concrete in them. If
Yeah.
you want to loosen up them from the sin, you need to first help them not identify with that issue.
Exactly. And I mean, one thing I would say is that we first have to address them as an individual before
Yes.
the sin, because you're not talking to them you're not addressing their sin because they're bad people. You're addressing their sin because they're people that are valuable. You as a person
very good
that's,
point. Very good
that's in a position of a valuable position, you shouldn't be violating your value as a human being by indulging in these things that are very self-destructive.
Absolutely. And you can love a person from the perspective of wanting good for them, loving them as a human being and as an individual,
Yep.
even putting away the side that they are committing a sin, because it is a sin when they indulge in that you hate, but they are not that sin.
Exactly. They're not that sin.
There we go.
If you don't make that distinction, then we'll demonize everybody.
Look,
Thank you.
man, look. It's interesting how much similarities and conversation you can have when you're not on Pelham Parkway passing by and in the cold or in the winter, and you can sit down and have a conversation, isn't it?
Yeah, the breeze, the wind. I mean, go Knicks, man. We're doing so well today in Washington Square Park.
Why not? My brother, it was a great conversation. Okay, God
Thank
bless
you so
man.
much. God bless you, man.
Woo! Come and have a seat.
1 second, bro.
Yeah, please fix that. It's the cloth that makes it slippery. Yeah. Let's see if we can get some.
I don't want to have a seat, but I do want to ask you why. That's it.
You gotta have a seat, brother.
Valid,
You gotta have a seat. Yes, please. Have a seat. You'll be surprised. It's a conversation. It's no bashing. It's just a conversation. If you like, you can sit down. It's okay. It's a peaceful, loving conversation, I promise. Just give it a try. You would have to find that sit down.
I just want to say hi to you. Habibi.
How you doing, brother? You okay? Alhamdulillah, everything's okay. Yeah?
You're the man,
I appreciate you, brother. Assalamu alaikum, brother. Thank you. Thank you.
I want to know why.
It takes a lot of courage. Yeah, put the headphones on, brother. It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of courage to have a seat. Thank you. You lock in? Yeah, lock in. Chad, I appreciate you guys coming over here. Can you just make sure the ISO on me from there, okay, brother? Thank you. Thank you. And can we just do a mic test? Can you speak inside the mic? Get close as you get closer to the mic.
Can I put it right here? Can I put it right here?
Yeah, so that people can hear the conversation as well too.
Yeah.
Okay, brother. First, start us with your name. Let's start there.
King.
Say that again.
King.
King, nice to meet you. SQ. Nice to meet you. Okay, King. You saw the poster. It's a little provocative, a little bit, out there. What are your thoughts about it?
What I want to know is why.
Why?
Yeah, that is written there.
Why? The sign says that being gay is wrong, right?
Yeah.
And I say change my mind. I'm open to a discussion. I want to know why, what you think about it. I would say, why do you believe that it's okay?
Man, I'm speaking in fucking Washington Square right now, bro.
I might have to put my headphone. You're speaking in a light skin voice. Hold on. Go ahead. Can it speak?
Yeah, test.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit better.
Can you repeat your question?
Yes. Let me see if I can do that. Yeah. Okay, so I would ask you, so why do you believe that it is correct?
That it is correct?
It is correct, yes.
It may be correct to some people,
okay,
according to their delusion.
Delusion, why did you use that word?
Because we live in one physical reality that all of our eyes can see. And everything in accordance to the pattern of how that was created is within nature.
Okay. So
but according to the people who are gay,
yeah,
and this is according to my observation, I'm not gay.
Okay.
It may be correct for what's for themselves, I guess you can say, but it's according to their delusion.
Okay. So if it's correct to them, then does that make it correct?
If it's correct to them. In the universal reality, correct according to the way that yields life, no.
What do you mean by that, the way it yields life?
Well, the way everything was created, it was created, and then we were made.
Okay.
And then we were made to reproduce naturally because we are nature.
Okay.
Nature replicates itself. So in order to have children, in other words.
Okay. So are you saying that because two men who are together, two women that are together, right, they cannot biologically have children, what is your...
It's the end of the human race if it was just those guys.
Okay. So... I mean, I would say...
It wouldn't make sense, bro. It wouldn't make sense. Just wouldn't make sense.
It wouldn't make sense.
There'd be no reproduction.
No reproduction.
Yeah.
What about the argument of someone saying that they can adopt a kid?
God bless them, but according to the ground and the nature that we live in, not everybody on... It's like saying... what if everybody on the earth adopted a kid? Not
there we go. Yeah. That's a good point. That's an infinite regression sort of thing, though. What if everyone adopted one? Then there would be eventually someone not to be able to have a kid. And what if a parent says, I don't want to give up a kid anymore? Okay, so I would ask you this. What gives you the idea of what's right from wrong? Like, where do you get your understanding of right from wrong? Like, what's your moral compass of right from wrong? Where does that come from, King?
At the end of the day, simple observation.
Okay.
Because a lot of scripts.
Yes, please continue.
You can go and read it. Different whatever,
Okay.
But at the end of the day, all of that points to simple reality. If our eyes cannot see it here, and we don't understand the purpose behind what we see, and the simple reality that in order for reproduction to happen, It must happen in the only way it can happen.
So are you of the argument that
According-
being gay is wrong?
In accordance to that, yes. Period. An eternal,
So according to reproduction-wise, it is wrong.
according to life, bro.
According to life,
Okay,
it's wrong.
but what I'm
so
saying-
what perspective is right?
The one in the little head of the gay person.
Okay.
The world in the little head of the gay person.
Okay.
According to them,
Yes.
because of different reasons, and
Okay.
that's a whole nother fucking conversation.
Okay.
But according to their little head,
Yeah.
and God bless them.
So
I
what's
mean-
wrong with it? I mean, if a gay person thinks that it's right, then why?
Let them think that it's right.
Okay. So then there is no moral objective right from wrong.
Yes.
There is or there isn't?
Because yes.
There
Because
is, but
we-
yes, there is, there isn't.
There is an
Okay.
objective right.
Okay, so that gay person would be wrong.
According to objectivity, yes.
Okay.
According to the thing that our eyes see and etc.
Okay.
They when they see themselves in the mirror, they're not even seeing the true reflection of who they are. They're seeing according to the mind that they see through. And
Okay.
according to that little head, it's correct. And God bless them.
Okay. So you're of the argument that there are such things called objective rights from objective wrongs.
Yes.
Okay. And if someone is practicing homosexuality, that is objectively wrong.
I can't judge them. That's why I'm pausing.
Did I say judgment? Did I
No,
say
okay.
anything about judgment?
But the reason
I'm trying
I
to find out what you think. I'm saying
the
if
reason
you-
I say that, okay,
yeah.
the reason I say that is if I say yes,
Okay.
I'm also including them.
Okay.
But I can't tell them yes, God bless them, bro.
Okay.
But if a principle should stand for all of eternity in order for life to continue on this planet, in accordance to anything that is against nature, it is not right.
Okay.
It won't produce life, therefore we're all fucked, man.
Okay, so do you
all
believe
fucked.
that the purpose of sex is just for life?
Let's
is
all turn gay right now, all of us on the planet, and see what happens.
Okay,
I mean-
so you're saying that it's objectively wrong because of the reproduction and life argument that you're making, that because they cannot produce more life, it is incorrect, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's your prerogative. You're allowed to think that way. I don't believe that that's the reason. That could be one of the reasons. I don't believe that that's the main reason that it's wrong. I believe that there is an objective right from wrong, but the question would be, who determines that objectivity of what's right from wrong? According to you, who think what determines it? Is it nature or like what?
When it was created, God determined.
God determined it.
Yes.
So you believe that there's a creator?
Yes.
Sure. And this creator said that it's wrong to be gay.
Just by the description that our eyes see, what is written within the code, yes.
Okay. Now, it's interesting, right? Because I'm a Muslim, I'm a practicing Muslim. And according to my beliefs, it is not wrong to be gay. Let me explain that. Someone might be like, what the hell are you talking about, SQ? What do you mean it's not wrong to be gay? The feeling, the lust, the desire for a man to want another man or a woman to want another woman, that is not what's wrong. That is what we believe is a test of the flesh. We believe what's wrong is acting upon that flesh, acting upon that desire. Because if you think that, hey, but don't they deserve to be happy and all these things? We don't believe that. We believe that happiness is not from following your desires. We believe that happiness stems from you obeying your creator. Submitting to the desire, submitting to what your creator wants for you is what gives you ultimate happiness, not submitting to what you desire and want and love, right? Now, if what you desire and love is in alignment and accordance with the creator, then do it. But if it's not in alignment, then abstain from it. By abstaining from it and practicing discipline, you are not only getting closer to the creator, but you are turning into your higher self. That is a person achieves enlightenment, because they do not make their desires their God, their moral compass, their guiding force. They allow themselves to submit even if it goes against what they desire and what they will as well. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's what we believe. Right? The sign is a little provocative to, get someone to sit down, but that's what we believe essentially. And we believe that someone who is struggling with homosexuality, we believe that it is a struggle, it is a test, it is something that they're very vulnerable in, and they deserve to receive the help that they need. We believe that they require help. They would, like, not in a judgmental way, in a way that a person needs to talk to someone, bro. Sometimes a lot of people don't have the resources to talk to someone. So you know who they end up talking to? TikTok, a reel, a short, watching a movie, getting a guidance, asking a aunt, a cousin who's not qualified to give you the help. I believe that we should indulge more in providing the resources to an LGBT person to get the help that they need so they could walk through their problems. What if there was a traumatic incident in their life that's causing them to feel this way? And what if with the conversation and the proper therapy and mental help from speaking to a professional could provide them the help that could save them years of trauma even further? Who knows, right? But we won't know until we provide and take it more seriously. Unfortunately, in this pride era that we're in, it's all consumerism. We are commodifying someone's mental health and their needs. We are taking advantage of someone's vulnerabilities, and we are making it all about self-identity. I mean, since when? We're more. We are a universe within ourselves, my friend, right? Why is everything that we do based upon our sexuality? We are deeper than that. We are more than just being someone who's gay or straight or man or woman. We are a universe, my brother. We are a thinking, sentient being. There's more to us than just being identified as just a man or a woman. I would argue as a Muslim that the number one thing that we should identify is someone who is a servant or a slave of the Creator. That is the highest status that a person can have, being someone who is a servant of the Creator. That is the ultimate pinnacle of enlightenment someone could receive. That's what my argument would be. Yes.
Okay. First, I got a question, and then I gotta challenge what you said in the
question, then challenge. Yes.
First question is, in the help that such and such would receive.
Yes, sir.
Would they be told? Would the message in that help be ultimately?
I can't hear that last part. You have to speak louder into the microphone.
Okay. Within the help that such and such would receive.
Yes.
Would the message be present that ultimately
that's wrong?
And you speak of enlightenment, and now this leads to the challenge of what I said in the end. What you said in the end. Ultimately, when you get to the final identity,
okay,
which is a reality. It's not something that you make up and something that you live with your mind. No, it's a reality.
Yes.
When you say the highest point of enlightenment, etc.
Okay.
You said to be a servant, to be a slave, no problem.
Okay.
No problem being a servant. And no
to
problem,
the Creator.
Correct.
Yes.
And no problem being a slave to the purpose.
Okay.
No problem. But higher than that, again, if you look honestly just at yourself in the mirror, the higher, and it goes ultimately even higher than what I'm about to say, is that ultimately we also are creators.
Okay.
So above what being a slave and a servant, no problem, but being a son in the direct image, in the direct likeness. Could be a son that serves.
Okay.
I could be a son that's a slave to the purpose of such and such.
Look, we don't believe that God's our daddy. Okay, we don't believe that he's our dad, he's our father. We don't believe that at all, right? We believe that he is the creator of everything, and us acknowledging that this creator exists and what he wants from us and the purpose that he wants to give us, that is where enlightenment is received. And we believe that that's something that he has to bestow upon you. You mentioned the thing about getting help. Yes, we believe, and this is why traditional therapy has failed so many individuals.
I'm going to stop this interview because you interrupted me when I was speaking.
Okay, have a nice day. He got sensitive, it's okay. You did. No, you're not invited back. You can go now.
That's fine. I'm gonna start right here. The ultimate reality.
All right, I don't know what he's talking about.
Exactly. Because you're not even open to enlightenment. Being a slave is different than being a son. And those who wear crowns,
all right,
we're not slaves. When people realize that real
people
identity,
are vulnerable, yes. Instead of getting angry, helping these people out is the reality from it. Yo, W Stream, I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys. You're next. Who's next? Come and sit down. no, this is just a conversation. I have a sign over there in the front. Don't be scared. Come and join. Let's have a conversation about this. Yeah, you have to read the sign, sir. Read the sign and come and join. Who's right? Boys, y'all been standing there. I want to hear some opinions. Come sit down. Tell me why. Tell me why. Come on. Don't be scared. Don't be. Come. Have some courage. Have some courage. He actually said he agrees with me. Okay. Hey, I'll take that. Yeah, I moved the thing because I'm gonna repurpose this, right? And I'm like the whole thing is on my face the whole time, so I might mess it up and stuff like that. Might be this time is a nice time. This is when it's really active too. Yeah, we don't want that as well too. What you thought? What's up, my bro? You alright? No, you good, you good. You're working in the building, right? Yeah. You already know. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Put the headphones on, my man. Put the headphones on. Respect. SQ, have a seat. Nice to meet you. What's your name? Hunter, nice to meet you. Just bring the seat in very close so you can speak into the microphone and give it a try.
Hello.
Oh, yes, we can hear you very nicely. Hunter.
How's it going?
Hunter, it's going, man. It's going. We've had some interesting conversations.
Yeah.
I wanna know, what are your thoughts?
I just find it. Are you gay?
Am I gay?
Yeah.
No, I'm not gay. No.
So
You would have to just come speak into the mic a little bit.
Sorry.
You're good.
No, I just find it interesting to tell other people how to live their life.
Wait, you say I might have to put my headphones on because Brody's messing with me. Why don't we try that again? Hunter, I'm sorry. Say that again.
Sorry, I was just saying I just find it interesting for one person to tell another person how to live their life.
Okay, you find it interesting that I'm telling another person how they should live their life.
Exactly.
What part of that makes you feel like I'm telling them that?
Is that not what you're doing with a sign like that?
Have you understood my perspective?
Not at all.
There we go. A little bit of rage bait, a little sprinkle of rage bait to understand that. No problem, Hunter. Okay, so let me preface this with thing because there's people here, the people listen. Sometimes they see a sign, they see a bearded guy, they look like religious fanatic. What is this? Like no. As a Muslim, I'm a practicing Muslim. We have a very strong stance when it comes to homosexuality, similar to Christianity and Judaism, which is in Islam specifically, we separate the sin from the sinner. We do believe that homosexuality is a sin within itself, but we do not equate and wrong the person who commits it. Meaning, if a person identifies with that act of homosexuality, we do not believe that is what's wrong. We believe acting upon that desire or that lust is where the problem is. So we believe that there's objective morality of right or wrong. Do you believe in objective morality?
To an extent.
Where's the ceiling of that?
I don't know. It's a good question. I don't think I have an answer for that, though.
But according to you, two men being together, two women being together is not that ceiling.
No.
Okay, but how do you know? Is that just a personal feeling?
Because it's not my choice.
Okay.
Do you
identify as
no.
Gay? Okay.
I do not.
Okay, so if you're saying that...
I have a lovely girlfriend.
Okay, hey, no problem. But hey, I mean, if it's not a choice, then maybe there could be something in your genetic code. You're saying that it's not a choice. It's not a choice, right? Okay, so maybe there's a sleeper cell...
You're saying the action is a choice, correct?
Acting upon your desire is a choice, yes.
Yeah, I would
and
agree
it's not
with that.
and it's not limited to.
To come here, I had to make a choice, right?
Sure. But what I'm saying, I thought that you were making also the argument that being gay is a choice. Are you saying that it's a choice? That's not a choice. Like a person is just born gay.
I think you come to realize it, right? Because you have to act on it to be that. Right. So subconsciously, you always believed it in a way because you had to act on it.
So you believe that it's not a choice; it's something that was within you, and then one day you realized that you was there, right? So you believe that some people could just be born gay.
It's a good question. Maybe. depends on how you're raised, right? Because I think a big part of it is your family.
So are you talking a little bit of nature versus nurture?
I would, yeah.
Okay.
definitely.
So do you believe that if they're exposed to this environment of LGBT, that could add to the fact that they identified or went that direction?
Would you say that when you were growing up, like, your parents had an impact on you and your family had an impact on you?
Yes, my
I
parents
would,
did.
I would say the same thing.
Yeah,
so
so
I do
then-
agree.
Yeah.
I would say so.
Okay. Because the
But
argument
like, No, go ahead.
No, please.
I was
You're the
just-
guest. You're the guest.
Oh, I
please.
appreciate that. I was just gonna say, like, I was raised to allow people to make the choices for themselves
Sure.
and accept them for who they are. And if you want to be around them, be around them. If not, then not.
Yeah, and I don't think that that's the argument at all. I would believe as a Muslim that if, let's suppose, I witnessed someone being bullied for because they're gay or they're homosexual, or I seen some work discrimination, or I seen some type of someone in the comment section or someone harming or hurting someone because of their sexual orientation, as a Muslim, in my religious beliefs, it is my responsibility to defend them and stop it from happening. Because observing justice and maintaining justice and going towards justice is my responsibility. I believe that that is my calling to do.
Oh, wow.
Just because
Really?
someone is gay does not
Do you
mean...
believe you only? So, how do you believe in reincarnation?
No.
Extra life?
No,
Oh,
no, no.
interesting.
We
So you
believe that there's-
So you believe
this
your
is the
sole
life.
purpose here on Earth is to do that?
My sole purpose is to obey my Creator and acknowledge His existence and to worship Him.
But
His Him, not
through
as
that,
in a man.
through that, you are acting to do something like this, right? To stop that from happening.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's not your fault.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
No.
Do you understand
but-
what I'm saying?
No, you might have to say that
You're
again.
good. You're good. So, like, you have your religious beliefs, correct? As you follow wholeheartedly, and you do not believe in reincarnation. So this is your sole life and purpose.
Yes.
With that, you are choosing in this one life to completely stop other people from living the way that they want to live.
Where did you get the idea of stopping from?
Well, is that when you just said that you do not want to allow others to act upon those?
It is no. I mean, if I defended someone from being gay, right? Like
Yep.
they were being bullied for being gay, and I stopped that from happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that stop? Shouldn't I just let them live their life, or should I stop the bullying from happening?
That's your decision to make, right?
But that's why I'm asking you. You're saying that if you should let people do,
I would just, I
so
would
you
read the
shouldn't just
room
let
and
people
I
do
would, of
whatever they
course.
want.
Of course not.
Okay, then there we go. So, like we said, the same way that there's limitations to things, that's a limitation that we just discovered. That you should be able to stop certain wrongs from happening, right? That doesn't mean you enforce it. It doesn't mean you force them, because even though I can stop someone from bullying, it's not going to necessarily stop them from doing it again tomorrow, right? But if
Sure.
I can, in my religious beliefs, I believe the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught us that if you can stop something, you should stop it physically with your hands. If you can't stop it with your hands, you should stop it with your speech.
Okay.
If you can't stop it with your speech, you should hate it in your heart at least.
But
And
but
that
you
is the
believe it's
weakest
wrong,
form of faith.
right? But do you believe it is wrong? Because that's what.
Believe
the
what is wrong? Homosexuality.
Yeah, homosexuality is
the
wrong.
act of homosexuality, the practicing of homosexuality is wrong. Meaning, if a person has lustful desires towards another man, if another person has another, you're lucky, right? If
Yeah, I can't even hear
if
him.
a person has another desires, right, towards another man, and there's lustful desires towards that, right? We believe that that's the test. We believe that as human beings, we are tested with all types of things, right? Someone might be tested with their sexuality. Someone might be tested with someone with another test that they might have. It might be a test with I don't know, stealing,
Of
or
course,
some
of
other
course.
what
I
other
understand.
test it might be. So we believe that this life is a test, and a person who is tested with their sexuality is someone who's just being tested. And if you abstain from that, abstain from the test that goes against the desires of your Creator, that is when a person achieves enlightenment.
Okay.
What do you believe?
I just disagree.
Oh,
I
tell
don't
me
believe
why.
life is a test. I believe life is beautiful. I don't believe that you can.
Okay.
I don't believe like you put with when you say the word test, right? I
But
believe
why
you're
is
putting-
test not a beautiful
Because
thing?
you're putting because the word test comes with pressure, right? It comes
Sure.
with.
What's
the
wrong with
pres-
that?
Of course, right? But if you don't believe in reincarnation, you're spending your one life believing in this one being and
Mm-hmm.
following the practice of telling humans that are underneath that being what is right and wrong.
Okay. I mean,
That's
aren't you
something
doing
I
the
just
same thing
disagree
with
with.
me right now?
No, I would
Yeah.
not.
I mean, this is what a discussion is. Right? A discussion is you
maybe
understanding my
No,
perspective.
I
and me sharing
completely
it.
understand.
There we go, right?
Trust me, I want you to live your life. I think it's amazing that you're out here and doing what you love and preaching what you're saying.
You do want me to live my life, but you also want to tell me how you think, right?
Of course, I'd hope so.
There we go.
Which is what we just talked about, right?
There we go. So
Boom.
that is also in a form telling me how I should live my life.
Yeah, but okay, that's funny.
Right. That is.
It's perspective, right? It's
You're
all
not forcing
perspective.
it on me.
Exactly. That's
there we
what
go. Neither am I.
There's the
But
test.
neither am
pressure
I.
part, right?
Just to be
Exactly.
clear.
Of course. Oh my God, trust me. I know
There we
that.
go, right? Neither am I.
I guess we
this
disagree
is
to
just
disagree,
us
you know what I
having
mean?
an
A conversation.
open conversation.
That's all I'm trying to do.
That's what this
It's called
is.
education,
Hunter.
right? Knowledge is power.
That is it. It is just an open conversation. We want to have this conversation so we can come to it. I asked you a question about objective right from wrong. You still haven't been able to tell me.
Because I don't believe in right or wrong. I don't
So
believe
what
objective
decides
right, or
right from wrong then, Hunter?
Perspective,
Perspective.
right? Your knowledge, and then reacting to that knowledge, and that's how you come up with perspective and opinions, right?
Okay. So based upon a person's perspective and opinion, that's what's going to make something right from wrong.
In a way.
Okay, fantastic. So if today we as an individual,
I do
look at all
have to
these
leave
people,
kinda
beautiful
soon, I
people here, right?
apologize.
If we all can agree as a society that incest is incorrect, yeah? Or are you confused about that, or is that a
I would
is
say
that a
it's,
line?
I would say it's interesting.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Well, I wouldn't do it, and I would hope no one else does, just
Okay.
for the aspect
So do you
of-
believe incest is wrong, Hunter?
Yeah.
Objectively.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't call it wrong. I would just say
Ooh. So
it's just gross, right?
Hunter,
I mean, it's just,
hold on.
is it not just
so
gross?
okay, so it's someone else's preference. So it's not wrong. It's just gross according to you, but it's not wrong.
It's right or wrong. What is right or wrong?
So do you believe? So I'm asking you, Hunter. I asked you, like, do you believe that incest is wrong? Right?
said yes.
I would think. So you say yes. So incest
Well, I
is
would
wrong.
say it's of course
It's subjectively wrong, or is objectively like it's incorrect?
subjectively wrong.
Subjectively wrong. So objectively, it's not wrong. So if it's subjectively incorrect to have
Do you
incest,
think killing someone is like? Let's have the same conversation.
the
about
reason
death.
I'm mentioning incest is because we're on the conversation of sexuality.
I don't know. What it is.
We're on the conversation. The interesting
Well,
thing
of
is you're looking at the crowd, right?
No, I'm looking at. Sorry, I'm looking at my
you're
best
looking at your
friend.
friend. That's okay. And I asked the question: is incest objectively wrong? You had to pause for a second, Hunter, and you had to sort of think about it. If you said incest is subjectively wrong, that means for someone, it's preference. They can enjoy it if they want to.
Oh,
No?
what? When did I talk about enjoying it? I never. Whoa. Enjoying it? That's kind of.
Is incest wrong objectively?
Is killing someone wrong objectively?
We're talking about sexuality.
No, I asked you a question back.
We're talking about sexuality, my friend.
I still say no. What's your answer?
Killing someone is incorrect 100%.
Okay.
Objectively.
There we go.
Okay. Is incest wrong objectively? It is. Where do you get your objective morals from based upon reincarnation?
Knowledge.
Huh?
Based off on reincarnation.
Okay, so look,
sorry, I
look,
have no
look,
idea
look,
where
look.
that. Sorry. Now I'm
You mentioned
confused.
reincarnation many times.
Okay,
So I went to maybe that's where you get your knowledge from.
Oh no.
Objectively.
I don't. Okay.
No problem, Hunter. I'm not going to put words in your mouth.
Sorry. I just. Yeah.
Can you tell me and tell us who are listening to this objectively, why is incest incorrect?
I don't believe in it. So for me, it is incorrect. I don't.
So I asked you, is incest
all I'm
incorrect
saying.
objectively? You
to
said
me-
yes.
So you're asking me, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So objectively,
In my
incest
life,
is
I would
wrong.
never. I would never.
So objectively, it's wrong.
Yeah.
Tell me why.
Because it's. I think it's gross.
You think it's gross, so it's based upon a feeling. So incest
based
is
upon
only
the
wrong
knowledge-
because
it's based on the
Tyler's
knowledge I
feeling
have.
tells it's no. But what if one day you had a little bit of a curiosity and you wanted to try it? Is it still wrong?
Yeah. I wouldn't do, because I wouldn't do that because it's gross.
You're
Because
mentioning.
I said that earlier.
So it seems like your morality of right from wrong is coming, Hunter, from your feelings. That is not objective. That is subjective. So that's my argument. My objective
I
reason
think that's
for
a good
why
argument,
incest.
actually. Yeah, that's a great argument.
My reason for objectively saying incest is wrong is because I believe in divine morality. I believe that the Creator decides whether what's
back
right
to
from
that.
wrong.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
same way I would say pedophilia is wrong.
Perfect.
Right? Because that is divine law. I believe that the Creator has made things correct and incorrect and told us to do it and not to do certain things. Similarly,
You've been
I
told?
would say it is objectively wrong. I asked you objectively why it's wrong, and you don't have an answer.
I would agree. This is a great conversation, though. I still think we had a good talk, right?
I think so too.
Cool. It's been an honor.
Been an honor.
Thank you.
Woo. You didn't have an answer. Hey, yeah. We're getting a little bit of okay, mashallah. You guys need to step up. I appreciate you guys watching and listening in. Okay, let's go.
Okay.
I like the bravery. I like the bravery. First come, first serve, buddy. You just sit down.
You know what I mean?
You just sit down. I like the bravery. I like the bravery.
He wants to really sit on it.
No,
Okay.
it takes a lot
Okay, I can hear
of
myself now.
courage to just come out and sit over here. What was your name, by the way?
My name is Bill from the Ville.
Bill from the Ville?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice
SQ.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm straight as fuck, by the way.
Okay, that's cool, man. That's cool. I'm not here to judge who is or isn't. It's,
You know what I'm
it's all
saying?
right. It's all right.
That's the moral.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah.
Judgment takes away the conversation. And judgment puts you above someone else. And just because you might not agree with someone does not make you better than them. And
Right.
this is something we have to understand.
It was a choice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it's not prominently your idea to be what you want to be, that's not you. You know what I'm saying?
You believe that being gay is a choice?
For me, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a choice.
Oh,
And he's judging. Fuck it. You know? I don't care.
So you believe that it is a choice to be gay?
Yeah, like,
Okay.
because like you can be born with a consciousness of understanding something right after it happens,
Okay.
or before it happens,
Okay.
and then go with that choice. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And all right, obviously there's hermaphrodites and people are born with like genitalia, like female, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Obviously there's those things.
Okay.
So when you see that in a reference of somebody living their life in a powerful way and rebellion against the norms, fuck it, right? You know what I'm saying? You gotta see that in the light of that person understanding themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so Bill from the Ville, let me ask you this. Do you believe that being gay is wrong?
It's a choice. I'm gonna say that again.
It's a
not
choice.
wrong. It's not right.
It's just a choice.
You know what I'm saying? 6, 7.
Okay, so it's just a choice. So what you want to do,
It's
you
a
don't want to do
balance.
it.
It's a balance between yourself and how people look at you.
So it's not wrong, it's not right. It's whatever you want to do.
Fuck it, right?
If that's how we lived our life, where would we be?
It would be savage. It'd
Yeah.
be like everybody be savages.
Right?
But fuck it, I'm saying like
Right?
no, you know what I'm
It would be a
saying?
little savage though. Think about it, because Bill, if everyone just did what they wanted
It
to
would
do,
be your right to do it. That's
Yeah.
why my name is Bill.
Right?
Bill of Rights.
That's talking to you, Bill.
That's all I
There we go. Just jump on.
Hey, brother.
How you doing? What's your name?
Okay. Jake.
Jake. Nice to meet you, by the way.
Oh, do I just put this
You don't shake hands?
No, I was about to. I just want to put this on. No, you're good.
Yeah, jump in and just get closer to the microphone, okay? So everyone can hear you. Okay. That was interesting. My man Bill just left. Okay.
What's going on?
Okay. He just said he just left. Go ahead, Jake. What are your thoughts about this, about my sign and everything else? What you
About
thinking?
for like homosexuality?
Yeah, I would love to hear.
I mean, from a personal
I
standpoint.
can't hear you. You have to speak in the microphone.
My bad. Is this better?
Yeah, that's much
All right.
better.
I think homosexuality is completely fine, mainly for the sense of like, I know that you compared it to incest, right? Like that, like there was like a.
I mean, I didn't
there.
necessarily compare it to incest. I gave incest as an example because I would believe that homosexuality is a form of lustful desire, the same way incest is. Both are perverse.
That's an
The same
interesting
way
premise.
someone who would do pedophilia, that's also perverse.
Yeah, but
Yes.
For example, I think for homosexuality, it usually involves two consenting adults.
Okay.
More so than not.
Okay.
Now you can compare that directly to incest, but incest also.
But that could be consensual as well.
Indeed, right?
Wonderful.
Not necessarily. Well, I guess I guess we're getting into like the weeds of like whether who touched who, but whatever. But
Okay.
anyway, for incest, right? The
Okay.
main reason why it's considered widely wrong is because of the medical like deficiencies that happen. After
But
the
but if
fact.
we were to take that out, Jake.
I mean, we can't.
Yes, we can.
Not really.
Yeah, just use a rubber.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter, right?
Why not?
So in that sense, even so, right? Even if you're.
But look,
based
even
on your-
homosexual relationships,
Uh-huh.
they're not conceiving children as well. If we remove the children concept out of it, right, then what's the problem with it?
What's the problem with homosexuality?
What's the problem with incest?
The problem with incest is the medical part. On top of the fact that it's it involves not necessarily two consenting people, but it usually involves one person's choice over the other. When it comes to homosexuality, it's two people that just love each other in any way, like shape,
But
or form.
two siblings could love each other as well too. You're inflating the argument, thinking that one has more love than the other. Both could be consensual adults doing it, right? Yeah, I could understand the argument with pedophilia, right? Because there's a power dynamic.
There's
over there.
100% of power.
Yeah, sure. But with incest, right? The reason I'm going with this crude example is because that's one of those lines that we all could agree, like, ew, bro, no, nah, that's wrong. That's nasty, right?
Yeah.
Because I believe that there is an operating system within each human being established by the Creator, which helps us determine right from wrong. And I believe that that moral compass eventually can get skewed, and that direction north can sometimes become blurred, and that compass might not work anymore depending on how you start living your life based upon nature versus nurture. I believe depending on how you grow up, that compass can now no longer point you to true north. If your argument is the medical side of incest, well then if I remove the fact that they're going to have any babies, then what's the problem?
The problem would then be the social aspect of it, which can adapt in either way. But
It can adapt.
Sure.
There we
but
go.
At the same time, the fact that the risk involves medical issues, whereas in juxtaposition, the homosexuality does not. At all.
It doesn't involve medical issues.
It doesn't involve it doesn't.
What other sexual diseases do they that gets transmitted through homosexuality and those relations?
Don't know what disease.
Yes,
What disease?
Yeah, so there's a HIV. Yes,
But those can be transmitted.
yeah,
through
but we know in the
heterosexual.
population, yes, of course, right? But we
So
know that
it's not specific to homosexuality. Sorry.
No,
I'm
but
sorry, my
in
bad.
the realm of homosexuality, we know that there is a higher statistic, and I would love to pull up the statistics so I don't just talk to my ass, and I could really point you some direction here, which in my opinion I should have done more research on and do that. However, nonetheless, when it comes to the in the LGBTQ person's world, sexually transmitted diseases is a big part of something that they have to avoid and look out for. I know in a heterosexual relationship they would too, but in the LGBT world, sexual diseases is a problem.
I mean, I think that's a problem in any sort of sense.
Okay.
For any sexual
Yeah, but so there is a
partnership.
medical issue
That's
involved
kind
in
of
there
like part
too.
of it.
So there's a medical issue involved, right? If
yeah,
your
but it's
argument
not direct to homosexuality. When
So-
in terms of incest, there's
Sure.
almost a direct, like if you don't use a condom. If you don't
Okay.
use a condom, if you're in an incestual relationship, man, woman, right?
Okay.
Whatever. If you do have a baby, that baby will come out with deficiencies. 100%. Like there's
Okay,
no
and
ifs,
what's
ands, or
wrong
buts
with that?
about it. There's nothing wrong with it per se, but it is the result of something that doesn't need to happen.
Okay.
You know what
But
I mean?
if they're happy
So
with
for-
raising a child that's bred in incest, what's the issue?
I mean, if someone's happy to raise a child with any sort of deficiency, I guess, I mean, that's
Sure,
fine.
sure.
But when it comes to when it's in terms of incest specifically, I think that specific situation
Yeah.
is almost directly.
Jake, let me
it
reel the
results into
conversation back in. Let me reel it
100%.
back in,
Yeah.
okay? The reason I give the example of incest is because I believe that there's objective morality of right from wrong. Do you believe that there's objective right from wrong, moral right wrong? Do you believe that?
That's an interesting question. For me personally, I'm
Personally.
actually a moral relativist.
What does that
100%.
mean?
So essentially, I think when it comes to right and wrongs, there are universals, 100%, right? Like murder in general.
That's
can be seen as
everyone's
wrong, right?
favorite one to use, yes.
Yeah, because
Yes.
it's the easiest one,
Yes.
right? Like if someone killed someone right now, I'd be like,
Yes.
holy shit. Like,
Yes.
sorry, I don't know if
Yes.
this is
It's
actually
okay, it's
crazy. But when it comes to morals based on sexuality or morals based on someone's personal situation with anyone else that is consenting in that situation, unless, I mean, there's certain coercions in any sort of sense, right? I think a lot of that is still dependent on who you are and what you're related to. For example, right, like if you are part of like a family in general, right, in any sort of sense.
Okay.
Now, if your family, if there's certain aspects of your family that are like immigrating here illegally, right, but they're here, they're helping out, they're paying for stuff, they're, doing whatever. For the moral standpoint, or at least in terms of the law, right, if you were to report them to immigration, that would be what's lawful, right? But in terms of to be morally relative,
Yeah, you'd be like, that's
to
not
be
the right
better-
thing to do.
That's not the right thing because it's my
Yes,
family, right?
yes, yes.
And I think that in certain things like that, there's certain personal aspects that make moral relativity much more prominent than something that is, okay, this is wrong, that's it.
Okay, so now I understand what you mean by that, Jake. So tell me if I'm correct, right? So you believe, you called yourself a moral relativist, right? And where
but just as a basis, I do believe in like universals. Like there are certain things that are wrong across the board.
You do believe in some universal law, but a lot of it is relative, okay? So what is universally correct, it's still kind of, in a way, when you say that morally relativity, that means it's subjective, it's not objective. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yeah.
It would be subjective,
100%.
right? So if something is subjective, right, and I want to go back to the idea of sexual immorality, right? Because I'm of the belief, Jake, that there is a right or wrong that is objective. I believe in objective truth, not relative. I believe in universal objective truth that is not written by a judge, a constitution, a man or a woman. I believe that there is divine law. I believe that the creator, whoever this creator is, has created human beings and all of creation, and it is their responsibility and prerogative to have given us law. And I believe according to that law is what I judge my actions based upon, and not that I judge others' actions based upon, but I judge my life based upon those actions. And one of those actions is sexual morality, right? What is morally right from wrong? Okay. Now, I could give you another example. As a straight heterosexual male, right? That doesn't mean I have the sexual morality where I can sleep with any woman that I want. I can just grab any woman that I want and just have sex with them or do whatever I want with them. Why? Because that is also incorrect morally for me as a male. Why? Because my creator has deemed that for me to be incorrect. The only lawful way for me to have relations with a woman is through marriage. That is the only way I can do it. That doesn't mean that's the only way you could do it, meaning you can do it, but to be in alignment of the frequency of this moral code, this divine knowledge and code, to achieve enlightenment, you would have to follow it according to how the Creator wants it. So when I give you the argument of incest being wrong, I can objectively say that incest is wrong, not because it's gross, which it is, but that's my personal feeling. It is wrong not because of how you think it's gross, because someone might not think it's gross and they might be doing it. Morality is not based upon whether you or I like it, right? Then we keep moving the goalpost. Morality, in my opinion, is based upon objective truth, which is from the Creator. So I believe that is incorrect. I believe pedophilia is incorrect. I also believe bestiality is incorrect. But shoot, if a man wants to be with a goat, then let him, right? No.
Not necessarily. Now,
but why not?
No, the reason, like, specifically for your, like, argument.
Go ahead.
I will first say, I'm under the impression, at least for a lot of major religions, that every single religion has had the situation where it's been, like, we are like a filter type.
Okay.
Shit, you know what I mean? So every single book about religion, every single philosophy has been written by man.
Okay.
In general. Even if it was, like, through like visions and like through speaking with the Creator, all that, it's still filtered through man. Okay. Especially when we look at the books that we study in general, right? When if you study Nietzscheanism or nihilism or Christianity
or Islam.
Or any of this, but a lot of it is through that kind of filter, right? So I don't necessarily believe that there's a quote-unquote Creator that governs this. What I do believe in terms of a lot of religions is that if we look at the historical aspects when it comes to when it comes to evolution, when it comes to where we came out, like in general, right? We started as the great apes, right? And from then on, we utilized different ideas in order to get for one specific objective, to get food from that tree, right? That was our main thing. So how do we do this?
By the way, I don't believe in that, in the evolution in that sense, but I'm listening to you.
Sure. So my premise is that there is a cognitive revolution in which that made us obviously interact with one another and decide to build a civilization in any sort of capacity. Religion is a direct result of this. It's one of the biggest things that has brought us together, arguably. But a lot of moments and a lot of leaders have actively utilized certain aspects of it to then filter a divide among people. And I think a lot of people tend to forget this. A lot of people tend to forget that a lot of these books, the book that I follow personally, is the Tao, the Tao Te Ching. And a lot of that is basically removing any sort of human aspect of religion away from it. How do we think about things that are above ourselves? That's the thing that a lot of different religions tap into. And that's the thing that draws a lot of different people to religion, right? Like there are certain things that Allah suggests is right and certain things that God suggests is wrong, whatever, right? But a lot of the things that are right, a lot of people can agree on. I personally have I'm a leftist. I don't know if you can tell.
So, even being a left or right, I think these are all divisive mechanisms to actually polarize us. So I would not be able to. But I need to pause you for a second because you said a lot, and I'm going to forget my thoughts. Okay. Sure. I do agree with you, Jake, that religion has been weaponized. I do
100%.
believe that it has been used as a control mechanism. I believe that even Islam has been used as a control mechanism, right? I do not believe in its purest form that's what it was. I believe that when human beings touched it, not from the Prophet's time, not from the companions and disciples' time, but later down the line, corrupt people do corrupt things. I think that that's a reality that we have to
100%.
face. I believe that when the Bible in its original form was pure, but when people started adding and subtracting to it, is so that they can control it. Same thing happened with the Torah, and that's why we believe that the Quran is the final revelation that hasn't been changed or altered. Going to your point about the even from the evolutionary perspective from it, homosexuality from the evolutionary perspective from it, where would we be in the world from homosexuality? Being that it doesn't provide any type of survival of the fittest mechanism for us. It's not procreating for us. It's not not helping from us.
But the survival aspect is the fact that we need each other, correct?
Yeah,
I mean,
but if you need to
general,
populate the earth based upon your evolutionary, so if you're talking about the great apes time, right? Tell me the benefit of two gay apes. Tell me the benefits.
Probably the social.
Can two gay apes procreate the world, which is what they need the most? They need procreation. Can they procreate? I'm using your argument. I don't believe that, but I'm using your argument. Can two great gay apes procreate?
I don't think that they can procreate.
Okay, so then that's a problem with homosexuality from the evolutionary perspective.
So from the evolutionary perspective, I think there's a lot of different things that build up. Now, I use religion specifically as an example because that wasn't based on people fucking. You know what I mean? That was based on ideas. So arguably, right, those two gay apes can help other people, other apes, gather together. Hey, let's all get food together so we can survive. That's what they can do, regardless if they're gay or not.
In the world that we live in, and from survival of the fittest perspective, women go towards the men that can provide and protect for them. Okay. And that is how a woman is attracted to a man as well, too. If you go back to the caveman, gay apes time, or we're talking about like that, if you're talking about them courting a woman or getting a woman, they would not be able to do that. Those two gay apes would be dying alone, and they would be ostracized.
To be fair, they also didn't court women.
They
back in the fucking evolutionary
ostracized.
They would also,
imagine two gay apes trying to mess with a straight ape. Two gay apes messing with a straight ape, they would probably get murdered.
And that straight ape probably also tried to kill the other male ape to rape the other fucking woman ape. Like, what are we talking about here?
That's why I don't believe in this. This is why we don't believe in that.
Evolution?
No. I believe in evolution from the sense that we were one creation and we evolved into another creation. But to think that evolution happened on its own without any divine guidance would be incorrect.
We literally see that every single day. Every single day we see something that
I believe
cannot
that. I
necessarily
agree
be
with that.
explained
Even
by
the
any
embryo,
sort of thing.
a baby within itself. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And the whole basis of religion is meant to operate in those areas where we cannot explain. That is the whole purpose. Now,
I don't agree with that claim because that is you assuming that religion's purpose is to be almost like a science book where it's trying to explain to you things that is unexplainable, so you blame it on the God law.
No, not at all.
Well, in Islam, that's not what we believe. We believe that there is a higher purpose of man. We believe that following your desires is not what gives you happiness. We believe that following the desires would actually lead you towards nihilism, and it could lead you towards getting sadder and depression and mental issues. We believe that putting your desires away and submitting to what the Creator wants for you is how a human being truly achieves happiness.
Yes, but okay, so based on those ideas, right?
Yes.
I think those specific ideas are the universals that a lot of people are talking about when it comes to different religions. I think those universals.
I think all religions teach that.
Yeah.
Even Taoism, the way you were describing it. Yeah.
And I think
happiness.
and I think those ideas from the basis, like completely are when we think of things beyond ourselves, not just what's inside and not just like how we act.
Isn't it just about being happy?
Beyond ourselves.
Isn't it just about being happy?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Happiness. Not to say that happiness isn't.
I agree with that, by the way,
That's
just to be clear.
crazy.
Yeah.
But like, the core of it is to survive, and a lot of that happiness and a lot of that survival isn't just about physical survival. A lot of it is social. A lot of it is camaraderie. If we all operated within certain aspects of, like, let's say like the 10 Commandments, for example, right? Just as a random example. A lot of us would still have aspects of ourselves that we hate and contempt and will actively hold against other people regardless of what the book says. Because that's just how we operate.
That's just human nature.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of that and how we deal with that is to understand and support one another, which is where homosexuality comes
Sure.
in, right? And
to be clear, by the way, just to interrupt you, I'm not suggesting that we shouldn't be supportive of someone's decisions in the sense that we should discriminate against someone. I'm not suggesting that at all.
But I think that the reason why I don't necessarily agree with that specific premise that you just said, that what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Not to accuse you.
No, please, it's okay.
I think that when you start to say that homosexuality is like demonic or homosexuality
I did not say that.
I
didn't say those words.
I'm
just to be
expressing
clear.
it in that way.
Okay, but I never suggested that
100%,
at all.
Sorry,
okay,
that's not what you said.
Okay,
But when you
I have the transcripts, sir.
100%.
I have the transcripts. I never said
and that's
that.
Fine.
Okay.
But when you put a negative connotation from it, right, and then you apply a religious aspect to it, to a point where this cannot be critiqued at all, you then supply a kind of ammunition for the people that are hateful, for the people that want to rally behind something, but also for the sake of persecuting other people.
Sure.
And that's the issue that I think we're talking about
Yeah.
here. It's not the issue that, because if you're not gay and I'm not gay, why should
What does
we
it matter
decide-
to you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when it comes to people that are gay,
Yeah.
if they want rights to be married, if they want rights just in general to have the medication to help them out in any sort of capacity, that makes
what
sense
medication?
to me, right?
What medication
Just
is
in
that?
general.
Okay.
Just
I believe that
right?
it is universal human right to have medication and to have the right, Jake, just to be clear, right? Because you put some words that I'd never said or behaved as well too. I want to be very clear with my stance over here.
I'm expressing.
It's
Sorry.
okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
In Islam, we separate the sin from the sinner. I want to be clear with you. Homosexuality, the act of homosexuality is a sin. Judaic law, Christianity law, and Islamic law. Hold on. It is a sin. The act of homosexuality is a sin. We believe that life is a test. You or me could be tested with the lust or desire to want to be with another man. The test is, are we going to obey our desires, or are we going to obey and put our desires second to the commandment or the submission to our Creator? That is what we believe the purpose of our life. That's what we believe the purpose of the world is. That it is a test of our desires. We believe that happiness is achieved when someone puts the submission of the Creator's will over the desire or submission to their own will. We do not believe in making your own will to be your God. We do not believe in worshiping our own desires. We do not believe in doing what makes you happy. We do not believe that. Now, if something that you do is in alignment already with what the Creator wants for you also, then that's a double win. That's perfect. But if I want to do something, I cannot do it if it is not in accordance with in alignment of what the Creator wants for me. So, if a person is having homosexual thoughts, that itself is not a sin. That by itself is not wrong. What is wrong is the acting upon that desire. Similarly, if I desire to have sex with a woman who's not my wife, that is not wrong. It is the act of that sin that causes it to be wrong. That is what we believe as a Muslim.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, you use Christian law on top of that, right? Now, to covet thy neighbor's wife is quite literally a law against God. Like, quite literally, right? Like in the 10 Commandments.
Say that again.
To covet thy neighbor's wife, to think about having sex with her.
Yeah, I don't believe in the
law,
Mosaic law because I don't think it's what it is.
Understandable.
Right? Yeah,
Right? So the reason why I'm critiquing that specifically is that when we talk about desire, you just said if your desire aligns with God or Allah, then it's not wrong, right? That desires have to be, the desire to be gay isn't necessarily wrong, but the act of being gay is, right?
Yeah.
But when we think about desire, any sort of desire begins in the mind first, regardless of what. Now, when it comes to
that's called shubuhat. That's a very good point you mentioned. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Now, when it comes to
and it should be
the
nipped in the
laws
bud.
against it, when it comes to the laws against it, I think what a lot of religions talk about, especially when it comes to homosexuality or being trans or anything like that, a lot of it is quote unquote about indulgence. For example, right?
Yeah.
In the Bible, there's a verse that talks about how women cannot wear the clothes of men and men cannot wear the clothes of women, right? The whole purpose, right? If we think about it from a completely introspective, like, how do we say this? If we try to understand it in a figurative sense, it's about the differences between men and women, the different things that they deal with, right?
But I don't agree with that, but I'm listening to you, yes.
But I'm trying to say, because there's different ways to look at it, right? For Joan of Arc, a devout Catholic person that genuinely fought everything tooth and nail for the sake of it, she got sold out by her own government that believed in this same book, right?
Sure.
For the sake that she wore armor as a man.
Okay.
So she got burned at the stake for this. So
that's
even
wrong.
Then, right? Exactly.
Okay, that's
right?
wrong.
Now the reason why, you
and we already
that,
discussed
right?
how religion is weaponized.
Yes. So this is what I'm saying.
Sure.
I think for a lot of these different books, there are certain aspects that are universal, which is why what I just said about the desire beginning in the mind, you immediately attribute that to the Quran, right? Now, a Christian could immediately attribute that to the Bible.
Sure.
A Jewish person could immediately attribute that to the Torah.
Yes.
Right? Now, this is what I'm talking about in terms of universals. That specifically is a universal that we can all agree on.
Yes.
When it comes to the actual things that put each other against one another, I think that is what tainted things. I think that is the human aspect. Why the hell would God give a shit about two people that love each other just because they're two guys?
Hold on one second.
That's completely a human basis.
No, now you jumped the gun.
That is not from the basis of God. That is a creator that created the entire universe.
That's like saying
that's
this.
Literally, okay.
That's like saying this, Jake. Hold on. You have to slow down a second, Jake.
Think about
because
it like this.
if you say that example, right, as a Muslim and even a Jewish person, right, we don't eat pork. That's like saying this. Why would God create an animal that you can't eat? Does he hate you? Why would he give a damn about you eating a pig?
No, but why would he give a fuck about the fucking deli aisle?
That's an issue. Because the pig itself, too, isn't the issue. It is your desire to do something in accordance to God's law. So if a person is tested with the desire of homosexuality, we believe that, as a Muslim, we believe that if a person is tested with anything that's difficult for them, by abstaining from something that goes against God's law or desire or what he would want for you in alignment, you are guaranteed and given paradise. We believe that the purpose for all human beings is to obtain paradise, to get to that next level.
So your paradise is based off of what?
Of sacrifice.
What farm animal you decide
of sacrifice? No, that was my example to you, Jake. You know better.
Sure, but
that was an
about,
example,
right?
Jake.
Yeah.
And it is by sacrifice and abstaining from what God dislikes.
Yeah, but even then, right? If we talk about
that's like saying, why did God make evil? Why? Why is that? That's not the right argument, because it's a balance. It's about good and evil. Those are balances.
Okay, but when it comes to eating pork, in general, a lot of that is from the basis of health, at least at the time. A lot of these different books that
Jake, you're missing the point. God said no. Point being, we can go into the reasoning differently, Jake. We can tell you what the health is and the parasites and the worms, but that's not the point. God said no.
Okay.
Period.
But what we're talking about, right,
Yes.
are two different ideas of what morality is based on. Consequentialism or deontology. When it comes to consequentialism, if we understand what is right and what is wrong based on what bad or good things happen based on our actions.
Who decides that?
Everybody.
No. That's objective.
Okay, if
that's
you
I believe in objective
no.
truth.
If you literally decide to touch a burning pot, and it burns you, and you think, oh,
that's
maybe
an objective
I shouldn't do that
truth.
anymore.
That's a law of the
but
world.
That is still something that you learn based on a consequence.
That's fine, but that's still an does it still burn you in 10 years?
If you decide not to do it, no. But when it comes to
if you touch that pot in 10 years, because that's an objective truth, and it's a law of the world.
Yeah, but that's not equated to homosexuality.
There we go. Yeah, because now you're talking about this. You have you have made the law, like natural law, and the law of God to be the exact same thing when that's not true, right? There is natural law, like for example, gravity and thermodynamics and so on, right? But then there's also law from God. If God said that don't do something, it's not just, he didn't just say don't be with men, and that, I'm not saying that. He also said don't be with children. He also said, do not be with animals. He also said, do not be with incestual relationships. He also said, do not steal. He also said other laws as well, too. So when I think that there's a law that if I asked you, is stealing wrong? And you said, yeah, I would say objectively or subjectively. You might say I'm a relativist and all that sort of stuff, right? I would say objectively it's wrong. Your truths come from subjective opinions, which happen to be how you feel, based upon what you believe, and so on. And if with all due respect, if someone was more eloquent in arguing, they could probably convince you on one of your truths. So based upon one reality you base your life upon, someone could convince you and your whole world could be shattered, and now you're moving the goalpost. I believe there's moral, objective truths and falses.
Okay, now you said
and that's determined by God, yes.
Sure, but you said objectively stealing is wrong, right?
Objectively what?
Stealing is
yes,
wrong.
yes, yes.
So if your mom had a terminal illness and she was going to die, and the only way you were going to get this medicine specifically was through stealing it through the means of like going through this pharmacy, having to break open the door and do that shit, at least steal the things that you were able to steal for the sake of your mom living. And if you didn't do that, your mom was going to die. Are you doing the right thing by
Absolutely.
Then you're bugging.
No,
because
I'm bugging according to your opinion.
That's the reason why I'm
bugging according to yours. You didn't even hear me out.
Steal that shit immediately.
And that's the difference between you and me, Jake.
Because that is the
Jake, slow down. Jake from State Farm, slow down.
No, when we talk about the objective things of morality, and we utilize things like stealing, there's a lot of other bases that are behind that as well.
Stealing is wrong.
Sure, but
you didn't understand why. I understand why you would steal it for your mom, but listen to me, Jake. Listen to me, Jake.
Medicine, which would also be worse, because that would also remove that medicine from the people that need it purely from the basis of price.
So you stole someone's medicine who could have needed it. That's number one. Number two, Jake. We believe this is a test. We believe there's two ways to get things, halal and haram, permissible and impermissible. I could get money that is meant for me. I could do it by stealing, or I could do it by working hard. We believe in predestiny. We believe that if I were to raise my hands and ask the Creator, heal my mom, help my mom, give me the money so I can buy the medicine, with firm belief and conviction, I believe that the Creator would provide for me. But guess what? He tests me with the temptation of stealing. That is SQ going to put his trust in himself and just go steal that medicine, or is he going to be patient and trust my plan? Because guess what? Maybe I'm not supposed to get that medicine. Maybe my mom is supposed to die. But guess what? If I believe that if my mom passed away from a terminal illness, that she would be going to heaven, because the illness is purifying her so that she gets into heaven. So we believe that that is a test for her, Jake. So me stealing something, I'm not Robin Hood, steal from the rich and give to the poor. That's not how it works. Stealing is still haram. It's still wrong for me to do, no matter how noble you want to make it. It's me putting the trust in my Creator. I am not going to steal just because my mom is sick. Because I would do is I would go and ask them. And I would ask them, can I have the medicine? If they say no, I'm going to go somewhere else and ask them. And then I'm going to ask. And I believe that my Creator would provide for me. So no, Jake, stealing is still wrong.
I think from that basis, that premise is an act of blind faith rather than true faith.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
Because I'm still going to go out and ask.
No, because you're still actively trusting that this Creator is going to provide.
Yes, because that's his job.
Do you know that?
Jake, yes.
Do you know
because
that?
He made me.
No, you don't.
Jake, but that's the difference between you and me. You don't believe that there is an all-knowing, almighty, all-providing Creator. That's okay. That's where we agree to disagree. I believe that this Creator is all-knowing, all-loving, all-providing. I believe that this Creator, when I had no sense or knowledge, gave me an umbilical cord. That same Creator, when I was in the darkness of my mom's stomach, provided for me when I didn't even know I needed provision. So if that Creator never abandoned me then, why would He abandon me now?
I don't know.
This is not blind faith. That is proof of concept.
The same reason why they abandon us right now being run
Jake,
by the pedophile
that
elite.
is
Like,
proof.
what are we talking about here?
Don't move away from this. That is proof of concept. That is not blind faith, so that's a correction.
It's not a proof of
That
concept.
is proof of concept.
If we still,
because I know he has
if it was
always provided for me, Jake.
if that really was the truth, then there wouldn't be that much suffering as there is now.
That is a false argument.
How is that a false
because
argument?
if America is dying from obesity and Sudan is dying from starvation, the issue isn't God providing for them, it's mankind distributing it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so don't blame God for that.
I'm
Blame
not blaming
mankind
God
for that. No,
Now,
but
the
you
reason-
did because you
okay, but
mentioned
no, but a
God in
lot of this,
suffering
right?
form.
Yes, but a lot of that, right, is still under the presumption that those actions will be.
Did I or
punished,
did I
right?
not just have a point?
No.
I didn't have
Not
a
at
point?
all. Your point is from the basis of your own beliefs, which
Okay.
makes sense to you. But in general,
Yeah.
the stuff that I've attributed to it is only.
Do you believe in a creator, by the way?
Not personally.
Okay.
Well,
good.
not traditionally.
I think that's why, because
Not
my lens
traditionally.
comes from, I think this is the reason, right? You do not believe that there is a all-knowing, one singular soul creator that is all-loving, all-providing, all-merciful that we all return to. I do.
No, hang on. So that like mixes a couple of things, right? So I don't necessarily believe there was a creator, but I do believe that there is something beyond all of this.
Okay.
And I think, for example, the reason why we see so
A
many
being, something.
in general,
Sure.
right? The reason why we see so many universals across these different religions is because that one thing that is universal is something we actively don't fully understand, which is why I think, from a personal standpoint, you need to read from each book.
Sure.
You can't just follow one specific book.
That's a good point.
And then completely deny the others.
Listen.
Because it's all much like a podcast, right? Or
Okay.
even much like older, like philosophical, like Western, from the Western tradition. Each book is a conversation with one another.
Okay.
It's just that they didn't have
And things
the
are meant to be
fucking means
questioned.
do what we're doing now.
Things are meant to be questioned.
100%. But if we
Dialogue,
only apply,
rhetoric, it's
Sure.
designed, debating is designed for this. As long as there's mutual respect and we understand the look,
100%.
we could agree to disagree, but nonetheless, we should still deal with respect. You mentioned reading a book. Jake, let me ask you, have you studied or read or looked into the Quran?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
Do you
I
have
haven't
a
finished the entire thing,
Okay.
but I've studied it.
Okay, you've studied it, right? Do you have a copy of this book already?
On my phone, yes.
On your phone. Can I give you a physical copy for you to look at?
Sure.
Is that a fair thing to give you?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. One thing I would like to say,
I
one thing I like
keeping
to say, huh?
Am I keeping this?
It's in English. It's yours.
Oh, yeah.
It's yours. It's yours to have, right? I don't expect you to study it all right now. You're not ChatGPT or anything, right? I understand.
that's
Jake,
crazy.
one thing I'd like to say is that I appreciate the time that you took to spending with me, opening up my mind and opening your own, challenging my thoughts and having your thoughts challenged as well too. There were times where we didn't agree, and I think there were times where we did see some silver lining and in between as well too. Regardless of what this is, I think there's one thing that we both can agree on, that every human being deserves a right of respect and love. And no one should be judged or harmed or harassed based upon their sexual orientation or however it might be. I think that's something we could agree upon.
100%, yeah.
And that's something that I
100%.
would like to also end it on as well too, because that is how it should be. I would
Sure.
agree with that.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Jake, for your time.
Have
I
a good one,
appreciate you,
okay?
my man, for real, for real, for real, for real. Whoa. All right, clap it up for Jake. Yeah. We got some claps. Oh, man. All right. All right, it's all you. All right. I'm thinking that it's time to back up. Hold on, wait, let me see. All right, cool. Thank you guys for watching and attending. We'll be here every Saturday.